on right now. We have the coin toss happening here. The Boomer captains look to be Peyton Carter, Ryan Douglas Fisher, Ace Long, and I believe Carson Medina as well. I can't quite tell the third team, but it should be Mr. Medina. And so those are the four captains for the Boomers here on the road tonight. They're wearing their road white uniforms, white jerseys, white shorts, got the gold helmets with the black logo, and then you've got the gold letters and numbers trimmed in black. For Cash, wearing the home red uniforms, red jerseys, red shorts, trimmed in white everywhere else as far as logo, text, and numbers. So that is the jersey matchup. We're waiting the results of the coin toss. Mr. Wagner is on that, so while he's doing that, we'll get to some of these keys to the games for the Boomers as we're getting near to kickoff. Already done the national anthem, just waiting for the coin toss and the teams come out onto the field. And you know, we've talked about it a little bit already in the pregame here, but I think for Woodward, the big thing's definitely going to be, can you handle physicality? That's what you got to answer. Cash still brings that. Maybe not as big as they've been in the past up front, but still got a couple guys that really get after it. Got a physical running back, like we mentioned, in Connor Muldowney. You got to be able to run that, handle that run game, and can you handle the explosiveness of Tyler Harbin at the quarterback position? Dakota, what do we got here? Coin toss?
We are going to receive the ball first.
So it looks like Cash won the coin toss. They deferred. Woodward will receive to start the game. So we'll see the Boomer offense early, and that leads me into the keys to the game for the Boomer offense. We talked about the defense and what they've got to do. Dakota, I just want to see some balance with this team. We've had the passing game start to kind of come alive a little bit. Want to see the run game pick it up a little, more. We got to get Ace Long some opportunities out of the gun to find holes between the tackles. He's found some outside the tackles, but even in a spread offense like this, where you're in the gun all the time, you still need to be able to find a run game between the tackles.
Yeah, Tyler, you talked about being physical. That's something we've done. We just haven't been physical a full 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And we talked about that earlier. I feel like if we're physical the entire game, we can start to find these gaps and start to find the offensive rhythm for Ace Long to break free for not just 5 yards, but 10 to 20 and even exploding for more yards than that.
And Cash defensively will bring a 4-man front. They'll go 2 defensive ends, 2 defensive tackles, and then you'll have that 3 linebacker group, 2 outside linebackers and a middle linebacker. That middle linebacker being Gunnar Tate, like we talked about. And, generally you'll see about 4 DBs over the top. So it's not a look you're unfamiliar with. That's kind of a base 4-3 for a lot of teams. And it's generally ran, at pretty much all levels, whether that's, high school, college, or the pros. It'll just be about trying to expose some of those things for the Boomers.
Another thing to know, I see a lot of these starters, especially the ones to highlight, are not just playing on one side of the ball. They're playing on both sides of the ball. So I'm kind of curious to see how long they can go until, they may have to be subbed or may have to take a break.
Well, and that's what we were alluding to earlier with the depth for Cash. Not near as strong as it was in previous years. So this is a team that is not one to, try to play a lot of guys both ways, but because of just the way they are right now, they've got to. You've got to, because that's where your best athletes are. So, like I said, be interested to see if Woodward can kind of expose that a bit and be the better conditioned team. I think, to your point, that's something that you want to be. If you can be the better conditioned team tonight, where it's hot again out of nowhere, last Friday was a bit cooler, can you take advantage of that and prove to be stronger in the second half?
Tyler, we used to be that team that used to play multiple guys, not only on the offense and defense. This year is a much different story. We have 1 or 2 guys that play on both sides of the ball, but nowhere near do we have the numbers that Cash has on both sides of the ball. So you're right, Tyler. I am very interested to see how how Woodward is going to expose Cash on this.
Yeah, for sure. And as we get the teams kind of coming out to the field now, if you will, let's came out of their Bulldog helmet. Let's thank some of our great sponsors real quick. If I get my page flipped over, we are on top of the press box dealing with some win, that's for sure. And do want to thank High Plains Tire, gold sponsor of the Boomer Coach Show with us, Top Cat Formal Accessories, Divine Stationery, Klein Mechanical, Northwest Glass, Great Plains National Bank, and Long Shots Bar and Grill, who's our Coach's Show host. With that, we'll step aside for a final break and come back with the kickoff. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one,
You give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Come back to with you as we're right at the kickoff here. As mentioned, the Boomers will receive to begin things. They're going to be going left to right in this quarter to begin things. If you're watching on Boomer TV or if you're listening on the radio side of things, in front of Dakota and I's view, left to right there, and back deep to receive. It's going to be the usual pair, Ben Cheap on the left hash, near hash, Ace Long on the right hash, the far hash. And they're standing right about that 10-yard line, maybe at the 9 or so, as Cash ready to kick things off here. There's the whistle, and we are underway in the opening district contest of the season for the Boomers. The kickoff, will have a low one, and will roll into the end zone for a touchback.
Oh, got a flag on the field.
And an early flag. Woodward will, for the moment, start at their own 20 to get things underway. We'll see what the flag is. It was a late one. I wouldn't think it was anything of all sides of that nature. It came from the Cash sideline.
It was all the way after
the touchback.
Yeah, after a touchback.
So let's see what it is. Still waiting on that announcement. A holding on the Boomers. So
wow.
Unfortunately, you don't even return the ball and you get a holding call on you. So they will back it up. Instead of the own 20, they will now start at their own 10. Dakota, we talked about that a second ago. Can't have those mistakes early. And that's one straight away.
And it's the silly ones that tend to get to you early on.
Right. And so it'll be Ryan Douglas Fisher taking over at quarterback. Long will be in the gun with them. 2 receivers to the near, 2 to the far. As Long will flank Douglas Fisher on the far side. 3-man front for Cash. Man in motion, fakes the handoff. Douglas Fisher will keep, gets up to the 10. Now cuts up to the 15, not quite there, as they'll step out of bounds at, they gave him the 15. So it'll be a 5-yard gain for Douglas Fisher on first down. Sets up a 2nd and 5.
You know, Tyler, just looking at that little move right there, I have a lot of confidence already.
Yeah, good little move for Douglas Fisher. Good block on the outside for the receiver. They actually say 2nd and 4, so call it a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 3 to the near, 1 to the far, and tight. Long in the backfield with Douglas Fisher. Now it's going to be 4 to the near as Medina goes in motion. Still a 3-man front for the Bulldogs. Snap taken by Douglas Fisher. Low tries a handoff inside to Long. Nowhere to go as 3 Bulldogs will be on him immediately, and it'll be a loss on the run. Set up 3rd and 7. Call it a 3-yard loss. It's just what we were talking about, Dakota. You got to get Ace some opportunities, and you got to block for the guy.
Yeah, I think that as soon as it's not the ball, I mean, the defense just comes. It doesn't even give time for the offense to get set up.
Give Cash credit for sniffing it out because they still only presented a 3-man front with the linebackers over the top and got there.
That's kind of hard to do.
3rd and 7. Douglas Fisher will be in the pistol. 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Long behind Douglas Fisher. Bulldog threading up. Man in motion across the formation for the Boomers. 3 seconds on the play clock. Snap taken by Douglas Fisher. He'll roll out to the far side. Being chased. Still looking, has time. Now going to try to tuck it and run, and he's going to get, shakes off a couple tackles. Still going. Trying to drive his feet. It's not going to be the first down, though. We got back to the line of scrimmage at best. And it'll set up at 4th and 7 for the Boomers.
You know, he broke tackle for initial yards. I thought was going to be a loss, but somehow gets up another couple yards. Yeah,
a good job by Ryan to at least, make up some of those yards like you mentioned. Not a loss, but unfortunately, it'll be a 3 and out for the Boomers. As Cash will have a couple returners deep. Ace Long will be back to punt, standing at his own goal line. And this one off into the wind, so it kind of flags it down a bit. It's going to be returnable here for the Bulldogs up to the 40, 35, 30. Now he's got a hold to the 20, comes to the 15, the 10. Is it going to be returned all the way? It will. And Cash comes up with a kick return touchdown to start things on the punt.
Man. had a good block there, I think at the 10-yard line. Almost caught him, Tyler, but you're right. He had an opening, and he took it to his advantage all the way to the house.
And that was Logan Crawford, one of those senior DBs we were talking about. And he found a hole and took it. So call it a 45-yard punt return for the Bulldogs. And they will take an early lead with 10-13 to go.
Tyler, we're going to see a little different thing than a field goal here.
Yeah,
they're lining up. They're lining up awfully odd. I mean, I haven't seen this in high school football.
Well, we saw with Hooker actually a couple weeks ago. Plays the game. It's Camden Hance doing the swinging gate, throws it to the end zone.
Wow.
The big man with the one-hand catch, the tight end Gunnar Tate, who we were mentioning in the pregame, and it's a 2-point conversion for the Bulldogs, and so they take an 8-0 lead to go in the first quarter. We'll step aside for a break.
If life came with a remote control, you know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Dakota Widener, Tyler Reeves with you as Cash had a punt return touchdown, 45 yards by Logan Crawford, the senior defensive back. And they take an early 8-0 lead, 10-13 to go in the first quarter. Woodward gets it back as the Bulldogs ready to kick. Ben Cheap on the left hash, Ace Long on the right hash, near the far side, sit to return it. Last one was a touchback, but the Boomers had a holding call. This one on its way. Good kick with the wind behind it, carries well into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. Boomers will take over at their own 20-yard line to begin.
Man, that kid he has quite the leg with him.
Well, he's also got about 20 miles an hour wind behind him in gust, if not 30, so that does help.
That's a good point.
Can't wait to see if Ace is able to get a hold of a couple with the wind behind him tonight.
You're talking about Ace, with the wind, he was able to knock a 60-yarder down, Tyler.
Yeah. From
the 50. Oh, I mean, it was crazy.
So Woodward will have it, 1st and 10, as it will be Douglas Fisher in the gun.
A little bit better field position this time. A
little bit better, yeah. Didn't bait yourself at the 10. Quad receivers to the far side, long behind Douglas Fisher. 3-man front now, creeping to 4-man front for the Bulldogs. As Crawford moves up, they'll take snap, hand off to Long inside. Nothing there doing, as it was a gain. No, actually a loss of 1, they will call it. So 2nd and 11. And again, Dakota, Woodward's got to get some push up front on those run plays.
You know, it looked like he had a gap, but I don't know how these 3 guys do it. They were quick to close it and didn't give him any room, and even pushed him back a few yards, which even surprised me a little bit more.
That it did. So 2nd and 11, trips the near one to the far, Long in the backfield with Douglas Fisher. Douglas Fisher takes the snap, rolls to the near side, has a little bit of time, now under pressure, tries to throw one up, and it's just going to get caught up into the wind and be well short of the intended receiver, Ben Cheap. That'll be 3rd and 11 for the Boomers.
Got to give Ace Long credit there. He gave Douglas Fisher quite a bit of time there blocking, but unfortunately Douglas Fisher just couldn't find anyone at the end of the day to throw to.
Yeah, this wind is with him. A bit of a crosswind now, it's changed it to. 3rd 11 for the Boomers, 9:35 to go in the first quarter. They trail 8-0. Douglas Fisher in the gun, 2 to the near, 3 to the far. Medina and Long, the near side receivers. Snap taken, Douglas Fisher back to pass, has a pocket, throws over the middle, looking for Ace Long, and there's a late flag. I think it's going to be a pass interference, Dakota, because Long got pushed over the middle before they got there.
I think you're right, Tyler, but let's make sure.
As we're waiting on the official's call, I saw it come from the Cash sideline. It would be in the area of holding. Definitely looked like a potential pass interference.
He's going to check with the other referee to make sure we got the same story. It's going to be pass interference on the defense.
So that is a big break for the Boomers on 3rd down.
That's what you like to see, Tyler. Getting a little bit of a break and extending the ball up the field.
It'll be a 15-yard pass interference penalty. So the Boomers will have it 1st and 10 at the 35. PI there for Cash. Mistake they didn't want to afford. The Boomer offense stays on the field. Douglas Fisher will be in the pistol. Trips to the near, one to the far, the furthest Medina as a receiver. Long in the backfield with Douglas Fisher. Three-man front still for the Bulldogs. Three linebackers over the top. Now Medina goes in motion across the formation. Zigs back, takes the handoff on the potential jet sweep. He gets gobbled up, though, in the backfield as 3 or 4 Bulldogs immediately on him. And right now, Cash is handling any sort of attempt to try to run the ball for the Boomers to cover.
You know, Carson Medina was trying to follow his lead blockers there, just unfortunately slipped up on the back foot, wasn't able to catch himself in time to keep going there.
Well, I think he saw 3 Bulldogs right there and was trying to come back.
It's hard.
Slipped. So 2nd and 14, 3 to the near, 1 to the far. Douglas Fisher back to pass. Going to swing it out to Ace Long. He'll have it at the 25, trying to get to the 30. And again, the Bulldogs all over him. A late flag comes in here. Not sure what this will be, as Long just nowhere to go yet again.
I think it's either going to be holding, but it was also close to his face mask too, with Tyler towards the Woodward sideline.
Mr. Scott signal a face mask over here. We'll see if that's the call. For
Yeah, that's
now,
what I
it's a
thought.
loss of 6 from the 31 back to the 25. Let's see what the call will be.
It should be face mask.
And it is a face mask. The Boomers catch another break, and we'll get a first down off of it.
He went to go pull him down by his jersey and then caught up in the face mask and threw him straight down to the ground, Tyler.
So they'll mark it off. This will take it from the 31. Should be up to, okay, it was a 5-yard incidental variety. So it's not a full 15. Still, though, make it a 2nd and 9 instead of a 2nd and 14. So an incidental face mask gives Boomers a 2nd and 9. Shotgun for Douglas Fisher. Everybody in tight. 3 to the near, 1 to the far. Douglas Fisher fakes the handoff. Rolls to the far side, looking. He's going to load up, throw one deep, looking for Medina. It's through the hands of a defender and picked off by Hance for the Bulldogs. He's returning to the 40, 35 down to the 30 before he's tackled. And unfortunate for Woodward, as Medina was there. Dakota just had a man in front of him, a man behind him, and they got in there, and the Bulldogs get the pick.
You know, the ball was beautifully thrown. Unfortunately, just a little too much on it, and Medina had one hand on it, Tyler, but unfortunately it falls off and rolls into the other hands, and unfortunately it falls in for an interception.
And they had a penalty. Holding on Woodward was declined. As mentioned, the backup quarterback and the defensive back, the junior Camden Hance, gets the pick. So Cash will take over at the Boomer 33. As, let's see here, starting quarterback is going to be Harbin for Cash. We'll see him for the first time. 8:35 to go on the first quarter. Bulldogs with the lead, 8-0. Harbin will be in the gun, 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Man in the backfield will be Muldowney. He'll go in motion to the near side. Now we'll swing it to him. Catches at the 35, cuts up to the 30. First contact made by the Boomers, and they'll push him out of bounds. Looks like at the 29, I believe Colin Boren on the tackle. Only a gain of 4 for Cash.
You're right, and he gets a little help from defensive back Cooper Littall as well.
So 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Harbin in the gun, 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Now in motion will go Muldowney.
Oh.
Harbin drops the snap. He's got to pick it up. At the 35, he'll get swarmed down, taken there by the Boomers. At the 30, it'll be a loss of 1. I believe that was Casey Bourne, if I'm not mistaken, on the tackle.
It was good job by him catching up to him, even though he had a little bit of room to run, tracking him down for a loss.
So Cash with a bit of a mistake sits up, they'll call it a loss of 2. It'll be a 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. See if the Boomer defense comes up with the stance. Harbin will now go under center. Trips to the far, 1 to the near man. The backfield is Muldowney in motion. They send a man on the end around. They get it to him up to the 30. 25's got a hold to the 20. Cuts it back at the 15. Has the first down to the 10. Still driving the feet. And finally the Boomers take him down. A late flag incoming. This could be on the Boomers, unfortunately, too, to end it. But it'll be for now a 1st and goal.
I think it is, Tyler. I think it could be a horse collar or a hold.
Nick Robinson, the senior running back, able to make the play from the 33 down to, it looks like, the 8. For now, a gain of 25. He was one of those that was banged up. Not a lineman, but
that's going to be on Woodward, Tyler. Here's the call.
Not sure what the hands behind the back symbol is, but it is on Woodward, so that's unfortunate. As it will turn from a 25-yard catch and run, or a handoff, I should say. They should cut half the distance. down to the 4. So 29 yards gain by the Bulldogs. First and goal from the 4 for Cash. They have an 8-0 lead, trying to extend it. 7:47 to go in the quarter, first quarter. This will be Harmon under center. Everybody packed in tight, trips to the left. One to the right's Robinson. In the backfield's Muldowney. Now motion goes Robinson. They hand it off to him on the sweep again. Cuts it upfield, looking for the end zone. Spins. Is he in? He is. And the Bulldogs strike again in the first quarter, this time on their first offensive possession. They punched in and lead 14-0 over the Boomers.
Tyler there, he had a gap, used it, and then we closed up on him. He found another gap and used it to his advantage. Tyler, this guy's explosive.
So Nick Robinson, and here comes the swing you get again for the Bulldogs. Hance will be in the gun, Robinson behind him. There'll be Hance on the speed option. Somebody's got to step up and take him. They don't, and it's a 2-point good for the Bulldogs, and they have made it 16-0 now over the Boomers. With 7:41 to go in the first quarter, as officially 4-play, 33-yard drive. Excuse me, 33-yard drive for Cash. That's what I was trying to say. Goodness.
Tyler, he was a little brave there, yeah, taking it up himself and running with it. You know, I thought he was gonna pass it, but unfortunately not. He just likes to take it himself and barrel his way in for the 2-point conversion.
54 seconds on the drive for Cash. So the bad news, Dakota, is you're down 16-0 early for the Boomers. You've had the pick. You had the early hold on your first possession, so a couple of those mistakes. Still the first quarter, still a lot of football to be played. Now you got to find an answer on this drive if you're working.
Yes, you do, Tyler.
As the Bulldogs will be back to kick it off. Sun's starting to get down a little bit here, so the temperature's cooling off a touch. Ben Angel going to be the kicker for the Bulldogs. Also one of their outside linebackers. As he'll sit, it will be Cheap and Long back to return. Cheap on the near hash, Long on the far hash. Standing about the 6, knowing the wind is with Angel. The whistle, now Angel begins his jog to the ball. Puts a boot into it. This one carrying well, should be into the end zone. It will be for a touchback. And the Boomers will again take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line and looking to answer after the Bulldogs have made it a 2-touchdown lead. With 7:41 to go in the first quarter. Douglas Fisher will be in the gun. We'll have church receivers to the near side, one to the far. The furthest is Medina. Long in the backfield behind Douglas Fisher. It's more of a pistol set. 3-man front again for the Bulldogs. Linebackers over the top, bunched up a little tight. Douglas Fisher takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Now he's going to roll. He's under pressure immediately. Still going to have to get out of there. He does get up to the 20, cuts up to the 24 before stepping out of bounds. And right now, Dakota, the Boomer line's going to have to figure out some communication because Cash is bringing pressure from the edges every play.
I didn't even see a blocker there for Douglas Fisher at all.
Yeah, when he had to escape the pocket quick. Cash is really pressuring those edges with their outside linebackers, their defensive ends, guys like Connor Muldowney, Ben Angel.
You know, we saw Ace Long block for Douglas Fisher before. Maybe we're going to have to see more of that if we can't get anything going.
2nd and 6 for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Quads bunched in tight to the far, one to the near. Snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to the far side, going to load up, take a shot deep. He's got man open. It's been Cheap. Call it the 50, 45, 40. Racing down to the 35. He'll be swung out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Big gain for the Boomers on 2nd and 6.
I don't even think anyone saw him until he was leading them.
No, he got behind the defense and was absolutely gone. And just like last week, Dakota, Big Cheap making a difference. So you go from the 24 of your own territory to the Cash 29. That's a gain of 47. Phil Flipper.
It was a little sneak attack.
1st and 10 for the Boomers with Cash 29. Douglas Fisher in the gun, trips to the near, one to the far. He's going to roll to the near on the snap, has plenty of time. Still looking, fires to the sideline, has a man at the 20, steps out of bounds. It's Ben Cheap again. And they'll mark him at the 19, nearly a first. It's going to be right at the stick. 10-yard gain.
He was kind of there just by himself, hanging around, and then as soon as the other receivers stepped towards the end zone, right there he was all alone.
Found the soft spot for sure. First and 10 for the Boomers inside cash territory at the 20, the red zone. Douglas Fisher in the pistol, long behind him, trips to the far one to the near. Douglas Fisher with the snap, fakes the handoff, swings it out to a Boomer, and that's going to be an incomplete pass for 17. So we'll have to see. It might be Tally or Graf.
Ryan. Oh, not Ryan. Matthew Stinnett.
Matthew Stinnett. So there you go. Getting some action today. Seen him sparingly in the first few games. Second and 10 for the Boomers after the incompletion. Douglas Fisher in the pistol again. Everybody bunched in tight. Trips on the far, one on the near, long behind Douglas Fisher. Douglas Fisher will roll out to that far side, looking. Now he's going to throw back across the bite to the end zone, a bit of a heave, and it's broken up, almost picked off as he was intending for Carson Medina, but there was 4 Bulldogs around him on that one, Dakota.
I don't know if that was a smart decision, Tyler. There is a flag on the play.
And you are correct, that flag at about the 17, 18-yard line. Might be. Let's see what the call is.
Kind of hidden there.
Bobby Kirk signaling it's on cash. We'll see if that's called or not.
It is on cash.
And that's a break for the Boomers if so.
It's going to be holding.
On cash.
Wow.
So defensive holding on the Bulldogs. Boomers benefiting again from the Bulldogs' mistakes. And we'll see how much they mark off. I'm not sure if this is a 5-yard penalty variety or 10. So I'll take it from the 19.
It's going to be 10, Tyler.
Will be 10, so it should set up a first and goal. No, they're going to call it second and 1 now. So about a 9-yard penalty. I believe spot on the foul, I guess, is what you go with then. Second and 1 for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher will be in the gun. They'll have 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Long will be in the backfield. 3-man front for Cash. 5 linebackers across it. Man in motion will be Stinnett. Inside handoff to Long. This time he has space. Gets tripped up at about the 5 and falls forward to the 4. That's a good game for the Boomers. A first down. Call it a gain of 6.
There we go, Tyler. Finally getting some guys to block up front for Ace Long and get for a gain.
And a little misdirection to do that with as well, with the motion man. Boomers quick to the line. First and goal. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Trips to the far one to the near. Long behind him. Everybody packed in tight. 6:35 to go in the first quarter. Boomers trail 16-0. Douglas Fisher with the snap. Rolls to the far side looking for man. Floats one to the end zone. It's picked off. Threw it right to a Bulldog. I think he was looking for Luke Parkhurst.
He was.
And instead,
a man just jumps in front of him and picks it off.
Yeah, for the Bulldogs.
Number 4. That's
Johnny
Peterson.
One of those guys that is kind of a rotation DB, and he got a big pick there, so the Boomers come up empty on a red zone trip. Unfortunately, the second pick of the first quarter as well. And Cash will take over first and 10 at their own 20. With 6:27 to go in the first quarter. Be Tyler Harbin leading the Bulldog offense back onto the field. Muldowney will be the running back with them in the gun. 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near. We're showing a 4-man front. A bit spread out. Harbin makes a check at the line, takes the snap. Quick pass, swing pass to the far side, caught, cuts upfield to the 25 and down maybe just short of it as R.J. Samuels had the catch and run. Call it a gain of 4.
On the tackle is going to be number 9, Jake Graff.
Second and 6 upcoming for the Bulldogs. Harbin in again, 2 to the near, to the far, snap, fakes the handoff, under pressure immediately, gets out of it, now cutting it to the far side, has a block, cuts it across to the 25 and tackled from behind, drug down at the 28, Casey Bourne catching up with him.
Man, you talk about a guy coming at you full speed, coming out of nowhere.
And so Harbin showing the legs, gets a gain of 4 when it looked like may have been down early. Be a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 for Cash. They'll take their time to get set. 2 to the far, 1 to the near, and the gun will be Harbin. Now Nick Robinson in the backfield. He's kind of the power back. He's got an up back and Gunnar Tate. Snap to Harbin, handoff inside to Robinson. He's going to lower his shoulder, try to get to the 30. He may be short. It's going to be right at the 30. Kind of a favorable spot maybe. And And we'll see what they call this a first down or not. It is right at the 30. Did he get enough? That's the question.
They're going to say it first down, Tyler.
They are. They'll give him the first. Just enough at the stick. So Robinson with a 2-yard run. That's first down for Cash. Harbin now hurrying to the line. Trips to the far, one to the near. Robinson still in behind him. Low snap taken by Harbin. Handoff inside again. This time cutting up to the 35, still falling forward across the 40 and lowers the shoulder to finish the run. That was not Robinson, but goodness, that was a tough run by Josiah Thomas, the sophomore, with a bulky run.
5'10", 175 pounds, Tyler, but he is explosive.
Yeah, that was a mean finish right there. 15 yards officially as he gets to the 45. Still in at running back is Josiah Thomas. 2 to the far, 1 to the near for Harbin. He'll take the snap, hands off again to Thomas, has a little bit of a hole, gets across the 45, and not much further, gets to the 48. Call a gain of 3. Case and Bourne on the tackle.
Man, Case and Bourne has just been all over the field tonight, Tyler. Kind of the only guy who seems to be getting the work done.
Yeah, he's trying from that linebacker position, but like you said, up front, essentially, got to get better contact going. Second and, they call that just a 2-yard run, so 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Now the Boomers jump, though. Unfortunately, it's going to be offsides as they fell for the hard count. So that's going to give Cash 3 yards and make it a 2nd and 3. For a offsides. So the Bulldogs go into Boomer territory at the 48. Need to get to the 45 for the first down. 2nd and 3 upcoming. Harbin will be in the gun, 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Muldowney in the backfield with him. We're showing that 4-man front. Harbin back to pass, going to go with the quick one, floats it deep, looking for a man and trying to track it down. I believe it was Latal.
It was.
For the Boomers. It was overthrown by Harbin. It'll be incomplete.
Even if Latal wanted to catch that and could have catched that, Tyler, he would have unfortunately been out of bounds.
Alex Heidebright, the intended target, and I think Harbin kind of not realizing wind's behind him and floated that one too far. So it's up a 3rd and 3 for Cash. 4:29 to go in the first quarter. They do lead 16-0 over the Boomers.
Last time they were in 3rd and 3, they found a way to get past. See if they can do it again.
Harbin under the center now. 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Man runs on late. It's Samuels. There's a timeout taken by Farron Griffin, the Bulldogs head coach. We'll take it with them. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so bad to the point where he had to end up in the emergency room. And he has spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy to tell people not to smoke around your kids.
4 out of 10 U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants free help to quit smoking, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Football on Z92. Dakota Wagner and Tyler Riggs with you as Bulldogs took a timeout on 3rd and 3. They were a man late onto the field, and Coach Griffin decided to take one to get things set. They lead 16-0 over the Boomers right now. 4:29 to go in the first quarter. We're trying to come up with a stop defensively. They had a good drive last time out. Dakota just unfortunately had that pick in the end zone.
Yeah, hopefully with that timeout there, they got rested up and they're ready to take on the challenge right here on 3rd and 3.
This will be Harbin in the gun. Oh, excuse me, under center for the Bulldogs maybe. 3 to the far, 1 to the near. Muldowney in the backfield. It's a pistol look. Call that a short pistol. As Harbin walks up under center now, man in motion. It's Thomas, the handoff inside to Muldowney, and there to wrap him up as a Boomer slung down at the 45. I think it might be just short. We'll see if they give him. It's going to be at the stick. Case and Bourne again
first
with
down.
the tackle. Boy, and
He's
they
saying
were
first.
Yeah, they were. No, now they got 4th over here with the far judge, so they're saying 4th and inches.
Okay.
for Cash.
This judge is saying a first down right here. They're going to have officials timeout, and they're going to come measure it, Tyler.
Yeah. And it looks like where the stick is, this is probably...
They just flipped it over to first down here.
Yeah, this is probably...
Interesting call.
Pretty close, if not there. I think they've given... I mean, the nose of the ball is at the 45. That's where the stick was, so I imagine
it's
probably get it by stick.
It's kind of where you have to say, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Let's see how they stretch this one out. I think it's going to be just a nose ahead. But we are at a higher vantage point. As we wait them to stretch out the chain. Yeah, that's going to be a first down by a good half football. Yep. There it is. So on 3rd and 3, Cash again gets just enough to go to convert. Boomers didn't do a bad job there.
No, they did what they were supposed to. Just unfortunately, you have so much muscle and so much size coming at you, Tyler. It's kind of hard to slow that down.
Well, and one thing there, that false start or the offsides penalty really hurt the Boomers. Gave Cash 5 free yards. Can't have those.
Without there, Tyler, they're in 4th down and probably putting the ball away.
So first attempt for Cash at the Boomer 45. It'll be Harbin in the gun. 2 to the far, 1 to the near. Man in the backfield's Thomas. They'll hand it off to him. No, Harbin keeps himself on the read option up to the 40, 35, 30, and he's finally pushed down by Cooper Latal.
You know, he kind of
Latal was kind of getting held, maybe a touch there. They didn't quite call it. He'll be a first down.
Also ran into his own player there, Luke Montgomery, and I think that was because of the hold there from Cooper Latal, or with Cooper Latal.
So call the gain of 16 officially to the 29. So first attempt for the Bulldogs at the 29. Chain gain trying to figure it out real quick here. Harbin takes the snap in the gun, hands off to Thomas, bounces it to the near side, puts a shoulder down into Bourne. Bourne will take him out of bounds inside the 25 to the 24. And it'll be a decent gain for Cash on first. Call a gain of, they got to the 23, call a gain of 6. Cash able to run out a few backs right now, and it's really changing the pace on the Boomers.
Way to close the gaps and push him out of bounds early and not go for such an explosive run as he's used to.
As it'll be a 2nd and 4 from the 23. 3:50 to go in the first quarter. Boomers trying to stave off a Cash drive. Harbin in the gun, 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Man in the backfield's Thomas. Hand off to Thomas. This time it's going to get blown up. Bowen, the first Boomer, I believe, in number 29.
Yeah, Bowen Morton just really went in there, and no, you're good. He just went in there and took care of business, Tyler.
And that's what you need to see for the Boomers. In case Boren can't be the first contact guy each time, it's a big loss to the 27th. So a loss of 4 officially. Woodward all over that one. So 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs now. Harbin will be in the gun. You'll have a receiver to the near. Should be 2 to the far. 3 to the far, excuse me. And Old Downey will be the back of the backfield. 5 seconds on the play clock. Bulldogs just now getting set. 2, Harbin takes the snap. Back to pass, going to throw it with a quick one to the 20. That's going to be the first down. He's got his man down the sideline. Cooper Latal on the coverage, but not quick enough to get him, as it was Montgomery making the play, number 5 for the Bulldogs. They will threaten it in the red zone now at the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 13 officially.
We're going to have a timeout here, I believe, by the Boomers.
Yeah, I think Coach Gordon wants to talk to his guys and get them set a little bit. Had them 3rd and long, you give up the first down. I think Dakota, the message is probably going to be, hey, let's settle in, let's bow up and see if you get this red zone stop.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't imagine that they would kick a field goal the rate they're going, Tyler, so hopefully you can flip the, turn the ball over and try to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, and if you could hold Cash to a field goal, that would be solid on this drive, considering the situation. See if that's something they can do.
It's been a long first quarter, Tyler.
It has been. A lot of stoppages, some penalties, some turnovers has led to that. A couple timeouts as well in there between each team. It is settling in to be a beautiful night, though, as the sun's starting to set. Temperature's cooling down a little bit. Wind's still with us, as you can hear, but that's okay. It's cool.
It doesn't feel as strong as it was earlier.
Yeah, maybe it'll lay down a little bit for us.
Maybe we're just a little bit more relaxed.
As the timeout about over. It'll be 1st and 10 for Cash. at the Boomer 14. As Harmon will lead the Bulldogs back out. Trips to the far side, one to the near. Muldowney behind Harmon, who will be under center. Boomers showing a 4-man front. Motion will go Robinson. The Boomers jump again. You can't jump off sides and give up 3 yards.
Man, rookie mistake.
So a 5-yard penalty. Again. So make it 1st and 5 for the Bulldogs at the 9. It's just that random hard count that seems to get the Boomers to jump. Gotta watch the ball in those situations. Harmon will be under center. Trips to the near, one to the far. Everybody packed in tight. Muldowney in the back. Man in motions Robinson. They hand it off to him on the sweep. Cuts up to the 5. He's going to be right at the stick. Maybe right on it again. Going to get to the 4 and get a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. As it is a gain of 6.
No, I had a chance at the end zone, Tyler, but the Boomers were fast to close the gap there.
Still a 1st and goal. As Harmon will be under center. Bulldogs have 2 split to the far side, 1 to the near, and up back in Muldowney, and Robinson will be the halfback behind Harmon. Takes the snap, looks to hand off, and the Boomers are there to blow it up instantly on him from the edges. Robinson going nowhere. It'll be a loss of 2.
It's going to be Zane Weibel that makes 1st contact. 2nd contact is going to be, I think, Josiah Beza.
That's what they got on the numbers. So a loss of 2. 2nd and goal now for Cash. Again, if you're the Boomers here to go, you just can get this stop. I feel that'd be big for momentum towards the end of the 1st quarter.
I mean, you're riding a little bit of it with that stop right there. Let's see if you can continue.
2:05 and count down to go in the quarter. Cash does lead 16-0, trying to extend it. Harmon in the gun, 2 to the far, 1 to the near. Robinson with him in the backfield. Harmon loses the snap, has collected. He does. Couple Boomers in his face, shakes one. Not going to get much further though, as Cason Bourne will be all over him back at the 12-yard line. That's a big loss. It'll be 3rd and 12 for Cash.
2nd time tonight that has happened, Tyler. The 1st time he was able to get away. This time he's going nowhere.
So a big loss on 2nd down for the Bulldogs. Boomers are over it. 3rd and goal from the 12 for Cash. 2 receivers will be 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Harmon in the gun. Muldowney in the back with him. Boomers showing a near 5-man front. They're bringing pressure. It's going to be a screen pass to Muldowney. He catches it at the 17. Slips one tackle, slips another. Finally gets taken down at the 5-6-yard line. The Boomers do come up with a stop on 3rd and goal and should force a field goal from Ben Angel and the Bulldogs.
I think that's what we're going to see. But there's a little talking going down here on the sideline, Tyler. Bulldogs.
We'll see if they stick with it or not. They have brought the field goal unit on with under a minute to go in the 1st quarter, trying to extend their lead to 19-0.
It's going to be interesting
with the crosswind. Snap taken, and the Boomers almost get to it for a block, but the kick is good from Angel. And Cash extends their lead to 19-0 over the Boomers with 36 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. But Dakota, if you're the Boomer defense, you got to stop and force the field goal.
And that's what you like to see, Tyler. They could have gone ahead and maybe tried for the touchdown, but you know, they keep it respectable, go for the field goal, and you got to feel good as a defense for making them come up short there on 3rd down.
And by my count, almost an 18-play drive, Dakota.
And that's pretty good, stopping an 18-yard drive from a touchdown. I mean, that's a long drive as it is.
Yeah, 18-play, near 80-yard drive for Cash. This Boomers offense will get a chance to end the quarter and try to get some momentum going on the field goal. You're looking at a 23-yard field goal for Angel. Made it pretty easily. A long time drive as well, nearly 6 minutes for the Bulldogs. 5:51 taken off the clock.
Still in the 1st quarter.
Still in the 1st quarter, as we're almost done with the 1st quarter. And the wind has whipped up, as you can hear with us. Kind of a crossed wind, equipment shaking. Well, that's part of it on a football Friday night. Angel will be set to kick, back deep to receive, or a couple of boomers, long on the far hash. I believe that's actually Raff on the near hash for Tally. Not cheap. As Angel will kick it into the end zone, has that wind pretty much with them. There'll be another touchback, and the Boomers will start 1st and 10 at their own 20. Just 36 seconds left in the first quarter. As we're about getting blown off the top here. Have some of the strong gusts, I think, up to 30 miles an hour in some areas across the state, if not a little stronger. No threats of storms tonight. Just some strong winds. Temps will slow down probably about to just under 70. This will be Douglas Fisher in the gun. 2 running backs with him. 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near. Snaps low, it's on the ground. Douglas Fisher just going to have to fall on it. And unfortunate there, as there'll be a loss of 5 to begin the drive. We saw a couple bad snaps for Cash Dakota. Unfortunately for the Boomers, not in a spot to where they can pick it up and run like Harvin was able to do so with his.
No, Tyler, seems like they just haven't been able to have good starting field position at all.
We'll see if Woodward tries to run a play to end the quarter or not. They don't have to, and it looks as they're taking it to the end of the first quarter. So after 1, the Boomers trail 19-0 to the Bulldogs on the road in the first game of districts. We'll step aside for a break and come back for the second quarter. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
You tackle an endless to-do list every day. It may seem like a thankless job, but you know better. It's the little things that matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value of the Michelin Defender tire. Designed for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Visit your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire, at 2220 Main in Woodward.
For more than 20 years, Northwest Glass has served Northwest Oklahoma with all their glass and door needs, including vehicle and equipment, windshield replacements and chip repairs, rekeying locks, and window and door repairs and installations. Call 256-4324 or stop by 611 Texas Avenue for all your glass and door needs. Good luck, Boomers.
R5 in Woodward offers you the very best in custom embroidery, screen printing, and heat pressing. R5 can personalize anything from hats to hoodies, shirts to jackets, and much more, including all your Boomer gear. Visit the store at 817 Main Street in Woodward or call at 580-256-3579 to place your order today.
Welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Dakota Ryder and Tyler Riggs with you as we set to begin the second quarter. Woodward has possession, 2nd and 15. They had a loss of 5 to end the first quarter. Douglas Fisher in the gun, trips to the far, 1 to the near, long motions out of the backfield. Douglas Fisher, a zip pass out to the far side. Caught, trying to turn it up, is a bit cheap, gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing else.
Looks like you would have had a cut there, Tyler. Just unfortunately, Cash is too fast to close the gaps.
So we'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Boomers. 3rd and 15, just underway in the second quarter, 11:35 to get 1.5. The Boomers will take their time to line up. Be quads to the far, to the near side, 1 to the far side. It is Medina on the further side. Douglas Fisher in the gun by himself. Takes the snap, back to pass, looking over the middle. Now he's going to cut upfield, has some space to run to the 25, almost to the 30, driving it for the first down, and he gets it. Great job by Ryan Douglas Fisher to finish the run and gets, looks like near 20 yards for the Boomers to get the first.
That's what you like to see. Taking it himself, Tyler, not giving a care in the world, risking it for his team.
And, you know, realizing that Cash had pretty much backed out entirely, so taking all that open space. 1st and 10 for the Boomers at the Cash 34. Douglas Fisher takes the snap, hands off inside to Long. Long has to spin out of a tackle, and he's swung down for a loss to the 30. It's a loss of 4 on 1st down. And again, Dakota Woodward just not able to get any sort of push whenever they try to look to run the ball.
You know, you like to see a try on the back-to-back runs, but just unfortunately, Cash was just too smart, and I think they knew it was coming.
Okay, they didn't go as far back as the 30. They went to the 32. I thought that was a bit long. So it'll be a 2nd and 12 at the Bulldog, or at the Boomer 32, SJ. 10-20 in the half remaining. Boomers trail 19-0, trying to find an answer. Quads to the near, one to the far side. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Back to pass again. Under pressure early. Breaks havoc. Gets to the 35. Cuts it up to the near 40. Did the ball come out? They're saying maybe it came out. Bulldogs are trying to say they've got it. And the call is they do. It's a fumble and a fumble recovery by Cash and another Boomer turnover.
It's unfortunate Douglas Fisher there. Ran into some traffic. Kind of turned to see where he was. Tyler lost the ball. Went to go look back at it. And when he did, there was already a Cash Bulldog already on the ground and already had it covered up.
So a turnover by the Boomers in their own territory leads to Cash, starting with good field position at the Boomer 38-yard line.
Bringing some size up front, Tyler, for the Bulldogs.
10:03 to go in the half. Tyler Harbin in the gun. Old Downey in the backfield with him. Two receivers to the far, two to the near, and a timeout taken by Cash and Coach Griffin. So with 10:03 to go in the half, Cash leads 19-0. They take a timeout with possession. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
Day one, the hardest day. The day you hear,
this is a type of blood cancer.
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
To learn more and get help on day 2, day 28, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. Also on Boomer TV as well. If you're tuning in on the YouTube page, we appreciate it. Chris Godwin out here for the broadcast crew. And now the timeout and the turnover. Cash has it. 1st and 10 at the Boomer 38. Harbin in the gun. 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Backfield man is Muldowney with Harbin. Boomers showing a 4-man front, threading 5. Handoff inside of Muldowney. No, Harbin keeps it. A little swing pass to the far side. Gets it to a man to the 30, inside the 30, near the 25. Will be a first down. A good misdirection play. And I believe that was for the Bulldogs.
And we're going to have a slow Boomer to get up, Tyler, and I think it's going to be an official timeout. This is a hurt man on the field. Oh, now he's getting up on his own.
There's a senior, Kyrie Coleman, on the catch and run for Cash. And you're right, Boomer did get up.
It's going to be number 52, Zachary Snyder, but got up off his own power. He seems to be all right.
As it'll be 1st and 10 at the 26, 13-yard gain for Cash. They still took the officials' timeout despite the Boomer getting up. And Dakota, now Cash really started to mix in the misdirection, utilizing the success they've had on the ground to lead that into the passing game. What the Boomers got to be able to do to stop this attack.
You know, Tyler, early on in the pregame, you talked about not giving up. And, you know, you have a couple interceptions and a fumble, but this is where you got to take control, Tyler. You got to kind of smack Cash in the mouth without them seeing it coming and try to make a fight and come back in this ballgame.
Well, the physicality, right? You've got to get physical with this Bulldog team. That's going to be a part of it. As out of the officials' timeout for the injury. Harbin will have it in the gun at the Boomer 26, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ready to extend their 19-0 lead. Trips the near, one to the far. Muldowney, the running back. He'll go in motion. Low snap. Harbin takes it, swings it to Muldowney. Pass leads him too far. It's incomplete as Muldowney could catch up with the swing pass. It'll be 2nd and 10.
What you like to see from the Boomers, though, getting some good defense in there and not letting them be able to get that one.
And a rare misfire from Harbin on the incompletion. So he's pretty generally accurate on the short passes. 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Suits to the near, to the far. Muldowney in the backfield with Harbin. Takes the snap, back to pass, and a flag.
False start or?
As a false start, yeah. So mark it back 5 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 15 for the Bulldogs now.
Boomers catching a little bit more of a break. Let's see if the defense can use that to their advantage.
Got to stop the last time. Kept the Bulldogs out of the end zone despite the valiant effort.
Yeah, forced a field goal, which is, we'll take that over a touchdown any day of the week.
And now Cash is driving in to win in this quarter. 2nd and 15 for Cash. 9:39 to go in the half. Harmon back to pass. Has time, still looking, fires over the middle, has a man open, it's too far for him, incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd and 15, as that was Camden Hance, the backup quarterback, who had found himself open on the far side. And again, a misfire from Harmon will bring up a 3rd down.
You know, Tyler, he got lucky there because in coverage was no other than Kaysen Bourne, and almost had an interception there, but it was just a little underthrown for Kaysen to get to it.
Yeah, too hard for Hance, but like you said, underthrown for Kaysen Bourne to get.
Now, if it would have been a second in front of that ball, Kaysen would have had a shot at it.
3rd and 15 for the Bulldogs. They've got to get to the 21-yard line. They're at the 30. Oh, now we got a flag. Or it'd be the 16-yard line.
False start again.
A false start, so it's going to be 3rd and 20. Cash really shooting themselves in the foot on this drive. Boomers will take that.
You know, instead of 3rd and manageable, Tyler, you're looking at 3rd and long.
3rd and very long. So it'll be 3rd and 20 from the 36. Cash has to get to the 16. 9:31 to go in the half. They do lead 19-0 over the Boomers. Substitutions on for the Bulldogs, utilizing a plethora of receivers. Muldowney will be the running back with Harmon, quarterback in the gun. 3 to the near, 1 to the far. Harmon takes the snap. He's back to pass. It looks like a screen play. It is caught, but not going to get much as the Boomers are all on top of it. And a ball out late there. I think Cash recovered. They did at the 35. One of their big linemen did, but still 4th down upcoming for the Bulldogs. Kyrie Coleman, the receiver, catching the receiver screen.
You know, not the smartest pass, Tyler. He didn't really have any room to run anywhere, and it kind of just got back to the line of scrimmage, if not, maybe a little less.
Boomers did a good job to play the screen, for sure. So a 4th and 19 from the 35 for the Bulldogs. Not in the punt formation. Trips to the near, 1 to the far. Not quite in range to kick a field goal. Muldowney in the backfield with Harmon. He's back to pass again. Has some time now under pressure. Steps out of the pocket, fires over the middle. Has a man caught, trying to fight for the 1st down. He's not going to get there as it's Logan Crawford with the catch. Does gain 15 yards, but the Boomers force the turnovers on down.
They'll get the ball, I think, at the 25-yard line. So Tyler getting set up in about the same position you would, or at the 20-yard line, excuse me. Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. As it would be, you know, essentially a touchback position, right? So 8:36 to go in the half. The Boomers take over after getting the stop. Now you've got to find some offense. You've had turnovers. You've had penalties. Can you get something going? Douglas Fisher in the gun. Quads to the far side. No play to near. Long in the backfield. Man will be in motion. It's Medina. They'll hand off inside, trying to find a hole, and a man there blowing it up in the read option for the Bulldogs as it's tackled back at the 17. Called a loss of 3. And it was
Neil Barker.
Yeah, Deshaun Barker, who was one of the injured linemen we were talking about, may not play today. He did play, and he's making an impact after that one. Interesting, they're trying to use Medina in a bit of a run set. Douglas Fisher will be in the gun on 2nd and 13. Quads to the far side, 1 to the near, nobody in the backfield with Douglas Fisher. 5 on the play clock, 7:55 to go in the half. Takes the snap, rolls to the far side, looking to pass, still has time. Now he's going to fire over the middle. Caught by Ben Cheap, tough catch. Across the 35 to the 36, a late flag comes in. For now, I said 36-26, it was a gain. About 7 or 8. See what the flag is. Now it'll be a 2nd and about 4 for the Boomers. See what the flag turns out to be. A face mask, so that's going to tack on, and the Boomers will have the 1st down.
Boomers again, they're catching a break. Even though you get Ben Cheap and you give him a good pass, Boomers get more advantage off that.
And they move it up to the 31, so a 5-yard face mask incidental on that. 1st and 10 for the Boomers at the Bulldogs, or at their own 31. Douglas Fisher in the gun, trips to the near, one to the far. Fakes the handoff inside, swings it out to Stinnett. It's too low, it's incomplete. Be 2nd and 10. 7:31 to go in the half. Boomers trail 19-0, trying to find an answer. We'll have the 2nd and 10.
So unfortunately, Stinnett there, Tyler, he had it, but just ultimately dropped it.
Man, the pass is a little low. Douglas Fisher's got hit more in the chest on those swing passes. The wind is probably a bit of a factor.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Crosswind almost. 2nd and 10. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Everybody in tight. Man behind him's long. The snap's through Douglas Fisher's legs. He's got to track it down. Falls on it back at the 15. And that is a big, big loss on 2nd down. That'll make it 3rd and a country mile. They gave him a low break and marked at the 16, so a loss of 15. So low snap. Good on Douglas Fisher to at least recover it. You got yourself in a very 3rd and long situation. You got to get to the 41. You're at the 16. 4th and 25. Or 3rd and 25.
Wow.
Douglas Fisher in the gun, trips to the far one to the near, takes the snap, rolls to the near side, looking for Medina, floats it to him at the 40, caught by Medina at the 41, out of bounds. Is it a 1st down? He's right on the marker.
Tyler, it's going to be close. Oh, the official dropped the ball. Maybe he'll spot it at the 42.
That was a one-on-one that Medina won on the far, or on the near sideline, and yes, they'll mark it up to the 44. It's a 1st down and a 29-yard completion.
Good look there by Medina. He only had a couple of feet inside the sideline, Tyler, but he manages to keep it in bounds.
And a good throw on the run from Douglas Fisher. 1st and 10 for the Boomers at their own 44. Trips to the far one to the near. 6:45 to go on the half. And now a flag and a false start. They're really watching the false starts here tonight, as that was a quick flag. So the Boomers will back it up 5. Set yourself up with a 1st and long now. Boomers have it, 1st and 15 at the 39. Trailing 19-0, trying to get on the board. Cash gets the ball to start the 2nd half. Quads to the far side, one to the near. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Back to pass. Rolls to the far side. Still rolling under some pressure. Throws it for the sideline, looking for cheap. And it's out of bounds, too far. Pass incomplete. 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 15, all the way from Boomers.
Defensive lineman got away there from John Ortega, and that was the reason they were able to track down Douglas Fisher so quickly.
And on that rollout, you don't necessarily need to give your quarterback all the time in the world, but you need to give him enough to roll out and plant his feet potentially for a roll, or for a throw. 2nd and 15 from the 39. Boomers have to get into cash territory to their 46 for the 1st down. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 3 to the far, 2 to the near. Back to pass. Under pressure immediately. Cuts out of it. Cuts up to the 40. Gets a little bit of a block. Trying to go to the 45. Gets around the corner and gets slung down at the 42. So makes it a gain. Gets 7.
Corvin Zamarco.
Gets 8. I should say, sorry, go ahead.
Corvin Zamarco there let a guy go past him, but unfortunately it gave Douglas Fisher enough time to kind of go on the outside edge, or he would have got caught in the backfield for maybe even more of a loss, Tyler.
So a good block to free that up. 3rd and 7 for the Boomers, a lot more manageable. 6:05 to go in the half. Douglas Fisher in the gun, man in motion is long, quads to the near, single to the far is Medina. Snap low, Douglas Fisher takes it. He's having to scramble to that near side. Flag comes down, probably in the area of holding. Medina does have the 1st down by a good bit, but this is coming back, I believe, for a holding call. The Boomers are one, I believe, a late hit out of bounds. I don't think they'll get it.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding call on John Ortega there, Tyler, as Connor McDowney just was going all against John Ortega, which is a pretty big guy, and he just had him held down to the ground there.
And we talked about Muldowney, his impact not only offensively but defensively in the pregame, and really brings a lot of pressure from that end spot to go to. You're seeing it so far in this 1st half.
Not only that, Tyler, he brings a lot of hype to the team and gets his guys fired up when they need to be fired up.
So instead of a 1st down, it'll be 1st and long. third and long, I guess, thank goodness, for the Boomers. As they're backed up to their own 37. Again, gotta get to the 46. Douglas Fisher in the gun.
Oh,
and Cash jumps this time.
Offsides.
So
That's
should be
gonna
offsides on the defense.
That's going to be Muldowney, Tyler.
Yeah, I got excited. And
You won't see that
Cash
often.
moving back. So you get 5 yards of the holdback. A bit more of a third and manageable situation, but still a third and long. .546 to go in the half. Boomers trying to convert on 3rd and 12. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Trips the far one to the near. Back to pass. Under pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Floats a pass. Has a man caught cheap. It's not going to be enough for the first down. He'll be at the 49, I believe. Call it the 48.
You like to see the open gap and him get there for a little bit of a gain.
And so it'll be gain of a few. Bring up a 4th and 6. 6-yard catch. Cheap. Boomers going forward near midfield. 5 minutes to go in the half.
Little dangerous here, Tyler.
Douglas Fisher in the gun. May try the pooch punt. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Seen Douglas Fisher do that a couple times. Takes the snap, and sure enough, there's the pooch punt with the wind behind him, carrying decently, but goes out of bounds on the Boomers sideline. And the official will mark it at, see where, looks like the 37-yard line. So Cash takes over at their own 37. 4:55 to go in the half. Woodward defense going to try to stand up once again here. It's Tyler Harbin come back onto the field, leading the offense.
With 4:55 to go, Tyler, I think that that Cash is just going to try to hold on to the ball as long as possible here going into the half.
Going to try to maybe grind this drive out. We'll see. They do have only 1 timeout remaining as they burnt a couple early in the half. Harbin in the gun. 2 to the far, 1 to the near. Up back is Muldowney. Robinson in the backfield. The handoff. No, Harbin keeps it. Got a hole on the near side. To the 40. To the 45. Stiff arms a man. Cuts back at the 50 into Boomer territory. Taken out of bounds. It'll be a first down at the 49.
Tackle's going to be by Jake Graff, who gets first contact. And led after that was Noah Boren.
14-yard run by Harbin again, using those feet. 2 receivers near, 1 to the far. Harbin in the gun. Got a man in the backfield with him, and up back in Muldowney. Takes the snap, hands off this time to the up back, shakes the tackle, gets across the 45, inside to the 43. There'll be a gain of 5 on first down.
On the tackle there for the Boomers was number 52, Peyton Carter, the Vanilla Gorilla.
Jarius Daniels, the carrier, gets the 5-yard carry. 2nd and 5 for Cash. 4:15 to go in the first half. Harbin in the gun, trips to the near, 1 to the far. Handoff though to Daniels, and the Boomers on him immediately. It's going to be a no gain. A couple of Boomers in early. Case of Bourne and Peyton Carter, the first couple to contact.
That's what you like to see. Peyton Carter getting back-to-back along with Case and Bourne, who's also been explosive tonight.
So it remains 5 to gain and 3rd down for the Cash Bulldogs. Under 4 minutes to go in the half. Boomers again trying to get a stop.
Your defense starting to come alive, Tyler.
Everybody going to be packed in tight. Trips to the far one to the near. Harbin under center. Muldowney, the man in the backfield, and now a whistle and a timeout by Coach King Gordon. He's got 1 remaining in the half. No, that was actually the last timeout taken. Mixed signals there. One official said timeout taken by the Boomers, the other taken by the Bulldogs. So we'll see what they do officially with the timeouts there. Either way, somebody took a timeout. Looks like maybe it was Woodward burning their final timeout.
Shows Woodward's out of timeouts, Tyler.
Yeah, so that was their final one. Be a 3rd and 5 out of the timeout. Cash trying to get the first down, trying to extend the drive to extend their 19-0 lead. The Boomers again trying to come up with a defensive stop. Dakota, we've seen them do it a couple times here in the half, but you're going to have to really bow up. The playbook's open for the Bulldogs. Got to watch for the run and the pass.
You know, they've been able to go like on 3rd and 4 and convert that many times, like you said. I think we're going to see Muldowney, Tyler, get the ball maybe for a wide open screen or him to just run himself.
mentioned the screen pass. They've tried that a couple times. Haven't had a ton of success. That swing pass has been there. And then the misdirection off that where they put a man in motion, hand it on reverse, or hand up the gut has seen some success. It's Coach Gordon getting his guys lined out for this big 3rd and 5. Woodward on the road trying to find some momentum in this district opener. As Harvin will be under center, trips to the far one to the near, everybody packed in tight. Muldowney in the backfield. We'll see if they motion a man. He does. Across the formation. Instead, the handoff inside of Muldowney. Spins out of a tackle. He'll have the first down before being taken out at the 37. And it's enough for a first down for Cash. And just a tough run there by Muldowney to coat up the gut.
So explosive, Tyler. Just, you can't stop him even if you wanted to.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Boomer 36. 3:20 to go in the half. Harmon in the gun, trips in the air, one to the far. And off to Thomas inside, has a hole, cuts it up to the 30, fighting forward, dragging a couple defenders. Gets struck down at the 28-yard line. And it is a gain of 8 for Cash on first down. It's Cash taking their time, but also moving forward. The Boomers again going to have to try to stand tall. 2:45 to go in the half.
Substitution, R.J. Samuels will come out and Alex Heidebranch will come in.
2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs. Trips the far one to the near. Muldowney in the gun with Harvin. He's back to pass. He's going to load up, take a shot deep, looking for Heidebright, and that's too far, incomplete. Had him for a second, but overthrew Heidebright. It was one-on-one coverage, and it'll be a 3rd and short.
I think that might have been drawn up for him, Tyler, as he just comes in for one play and then he'll come back out.
Yeah, they loaded him up for a deep shot, and I think you're right. Just quick in, quick out. 3rd and short for the Bulldogs. Boomers trying to come up with a stop yet again. 2:30 to go in the half. Harmon's under center. Trips the near one to the, trips the far one to the near, man in motion. And now Harmon just QB sneaks it up the gut. He'll get across the 25 down to the 24. It'll be enough for the first down. Call it a gain of 4.
That man in motion was actually a new player that came in for Heidebright. That is number 32, Nick Robinson.
Who they've subbed in throughout the game, just working him in. 1st and 10 for Cash at the Boomer 25. 2:10 and counting in the first half to go. Bulldogs lead 19-0. Harmon under center. Trips the near one to the far. Muldowney in the backfield. Man in motion, Robinson. They give it to him on the in around. Cuts it up. Gets a couple yards down to the 21. And a flag on the far side. This could be in the area of holding. We'll see. So use that motion in around a few times. They wave off the flag. So they let the gain stand. It was only a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Braxton Jackson was the man, the big man moving up the pile there for his little guy.
2nd and 6 for Cash. Harmon under center. Everybody packed in tight. Man in motion's Robinson. Fake it to him. Hand off to Muldowney up the middle. Fights for it. Gets to the 15-yard line. He's just fighting through extra tackles at this point. He gets right to the stick where he needed to be. First down was at the 15. They give it to him. And so it's a gain of 6. First down.
Tyler, he had 340 pounds of Alvin McKinney, offensive lineman, making some room for him.
Yeah, we talked about having some size, maybe not all across the line, but they've definitely got some size still. Harmon, under center again, trips the far one to the near, man in motions Robinson. Gives it to him on the end around, makes a man miss. Now Casey Bourne tracking him down and taking him down at the 15, so no gain. Casey Bourne with some closing speed for the Boomers.
Man, he has speed, Tyler. It comes out of nowhere.
It's been a man on a mission in the linebacker position. 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Clock down to 45 seconds to go in the half, and Cash is letting it run here. They do have a timeout. Harmon in the gun, 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Muldowney in the backfield. Harmon hands off inside to Muldowney. The Boomers are on him. It's going to be no gain. And it'll be 3rd and 10 upcoming.
Timeout here for Cash, Tyler.
They will burn the final timeout of the half with 28 seconds, to go in the half. So 3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs, no timeouts. Dakota, do they try to take a shot to the end zone here on 3rd down, or they just play for the 1st down?
I think that they've worked enough, Tyler, where they put in so much that they're going to have to go in for a touchdown.
See if they take that shot. Boomers will have to be on their heels because Cash can indeed get a 1st down and stop the clock. They got to get to the 5. They're at the 15. But if the Boomers come up with the stop on 3rd down, forcing their field goal from Cash. See Ben Angel, he made his first attempt, was about 23 yards. And that was with the win. He'll have one against him if he kicks it here to end the half.
I think we're going to see a targeted pass here, kind of like we saw with Heidebride.
Quick meeting for Cash, and they're back onto the field. The Boomers break their huddle. Harbin will be in the gun. Trips to the near, one to the far side. Ball Downey in the backfield with Harbin. 28 seconds to go in the half. Boomer defense trying to come up with the stop. Harbin takes the snap, back to pass. Has a bit of time, throws over the middle. That pass way too low. It's incomplete. It's 4th down for the Bulldogs. They'll bring on the field goal unit. Boomer defense, Dakota, comes up with the stop.
That's what you like to see. Forces another field goal try.
24 seconds left in the half. 4th and 10 for Cash.
It's going to be a 25-yard field goal.
A little bit further than that. Be a 32-yard field goal. Snap, ball down, kick is up. It's on its way. Looks like it has the distance, and it is good through the uprights. So Angel cans the 32-yard field goal, and Cash extends their lead. Now up 22-0 over the Boomers. But Dakota, again, Woodward able to come up with another stop when Cash was driving.
And see if they can get back on offense. And Tyler, they only have 18 seconds to work with. I would imagine they would call it here to end the half.
You probably don't get too risky because unfortunately you don't have a timeout to work with. You have burned those. That drive for Cash goes 4.5 minutes. And officially 13 plays to make it a 22-0 lead. So the Boomers have had to make Cash earn it the last couple of times on their drives. This will be Angel to kick it off. That one against him could be returnable for Woodward.
Back to receive is going to be Ace Long and Colton Moore.
Colton Moore, okay. That's who we've been trying to identify. Yeah.
In the secondary, you're going to see Luke Talley and I believe Cooper Beener.
For sure. 26, I think. Yeah, 26.
Braden Warren.
Okay. And by secondary being up a little bit closer at the 15. As Angel ready to kick it off. Here's the whistle. See if this will be returnable as it's into the wind. Definitely a short kick. Coming up for it is going to be Moore at the 15. He's got it. Cuts it across the field. Tries to get to the 20, but slips beforehand. He's down at the 17. Boomers will take over there with 12 seconds to go in the half.
Don't know if he could necessarily get any more yards than what he did, Tyler, after he slipped up, but just unfortunate there.
Yeah, I mean, you slip up, it's tough to get more yards after that point. As Woodward takes it over at their own 17. We'll see if they just essentially take a knee and take it into the half. Cash will get the ball to start the second half. Remember, defense will have to be on the field. Douglas Fisher in the pistol, to the near, two to the far, and the snap on the ground. And Douglas Fisher will just take the knee. And that will do it for the first half. Woodward goes into the locker room on the road, trailing 22-0 to the Bulldogs in the district opener. Let's step aside for a break. We'll come back for the halftime show, recap some scores from across the area, and talk about some things ahead for us on the weekend as well. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
Are you searching for that perfect special attire? Look no further. The Top Cat Formal Wear and Accessories at 808 Main Street in Woodward. Top Cat has a beautiful line of bridal, special occasion, and prom dresses to choose from. With no two dresses alike, you'll always get that special look. They guarantee the perfect fit for tuxedos at no extra cost and carry menswear for all your needs. Visit TopCatFormal.com or call 580-256-2888 to book your appointment now. Store hours are 10 a.m. through 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and by appointment only on Saturday. Top Cat also offers layaway. Let Top Cat help you shine on your special day.
Need financing for a new home or want to refinance your current one? Bank 7 has the home loan products to suit all types of borrowers. Pre-qualify now by filling out their secure online form at mortgage.bank7.com or call 580-254-0100 and let their mortgage specialist design a mortgage just for you. Subject to credit approval, equal housing lender, NMLS 677297.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you as we are at the break. The Boomers trail 22-0 to the Bulldogs. And Dakota, talking a little bit of the first half recap. Cash got things going early. The Boomers went 3 and out. They got a 45-yard punt return to the Bulldogs from Logan Crawford, the senior. Took it back, had an electric play there. The Boomers on their next drive, unfortunately, throw a pick. That's returned a decent bit to set up Cash at the Boomer 33. They would punch that in 4 plays to quickly go up 16-0. They went for 2-point conversions each time and got it. And then the Boomers again would start a drive, got about 7 plays in, but unfortunately a pick happened in the end zone. You had him, he got all the way down to the end zone and he just couldn't quite convert as Cash was able to pick it off in the end zone. The Boomers would hold Cash to a field goal on their next possession, and that was with, about 36 seconds left in the first quarter. So it was 19-0 there in the first quarter. The good news is the Boomers only allowed 3 points in the second quarter and do a good job to hold it to a field goal yet again right there before the half.
You know, in the second quarter, one thing I noticed that we did differently is we started to tackle a little bit faster and a little bit more aggressively. So I noticed that's one thing that we have gotten better at is tackling.
Definitely was something that was a key for us. Got to make those tackles, got to wrap up. And like I said, started to get there in the second half a bit better. It seemed like they had a better grasp of what Cash was really trying to attack them with. The problem, though, still seems to be when Cash wants to be able to run physically, whether that's Muldowney, Robinson, Thomas. They've got 3 guys right now that are running hard. What else do you do if you're the Boomers besides trying to dig deep and plug that up?
Well, you know, you talked about those 3 explosive guys. Tyler, they're not just explosive. They have lead blockers that they're following. They have guys that are kind of leading the way for them, and that's something that you know, we haven't found. So we got to open up those gaps and give our guys a little bit more room to run. So just being a little bit more upfront and physical is what we got to do, and kind of shift this momentum around.
Yeah, and offensively, Dakota, Woodward's had some problems. We mentioned the 2 picks. You've had some penalties that before you've even taken the snap of the first play of the drive, a couple false starts, you had holding on the opening drive. It seems like it's just you got to clean up those mental mistakes offensively, because when Woodward settles in a little bit, we've seen big plays. Ben Chief's had a big catch. Carson Medina's had a big conversion. Douglas Fisher's been using his legs out of the pocket a little bit.
Oh, and you're talking about that mindset. All these little things are happening, are getting our guys frustrated, and it's getting them in the wrong mindset. I feel like if we come out here in the second half with a cleaner mindset and come up maybe a little be a little bit creative, Tyler. That's something that we haven't seen yet tonight, is being creative on the football field. So we got to be creative in the second half, come up with some new things, kind of throw this offense off, or this defense off a little bit.
We'll see if the Boomers could do that. They trail at the half, 22-0. We'll step aside for another break. We'll come back, look at some scores from in the district, around the state, and around the tri-state a little bit, maybe, if we can as well. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire.
For the past 58 years, Klein Mechanical has served Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for all your residential or commercial needs, including plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and construction. One call does it all. Located at 1301 Main Street, or give them a call at 256-5014. Good luck, Boomers.
People investing in people. That's what they're all about at Great Plains Bank, because life isn't a transaction, it's a journey, and on that journey, we're greater together. Great Plains Bank has locations in your local area because they're here to serve you. Great Plains Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Identify meetup locations and people you'll need to contact. Put your contact list in your wallet, on your phone, and somewhere visible in your home. Build a kit. Store enough food and water for 3 days. Don't forget your pets. And consider buying a pre-made kit. Keep at least 7 days of medication on hand. Work with your pharmacist and insurance company to secure the extra doses. Make copies of important documents. Keep them on your phone, in the cloud, or on a USB stick. Stay informed. Learn about local hazards. Take courses in CPR and first aid. And sign up for local alert systems. An early warning can give you the time you need to prepare for a fast-moving disaster. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
And welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Dakota Widener and Tyler Riggs with you at the half. Boomers trail 22-0 to the Bulldogs. But Dakota, let's take a look at some scores going on in the district. Obviously, district play opening up for 4A1 tonight. A couple of matchups. Clinton leading John Marshall 37-6 in the second quarter. That one's played in Clinton tonight. Weatherford hosting Chickasha. They lead 21-0 at the half. And I believe our other opponent, obviously this game, I'm trying to think of our next one. Elk City off this week, so Elk City not in action there.
Okay.
So that would be your other district team there. And so the Boomers, you know, you look at some of those results, Clinton, no surprise there. They faced a good non-district schedule, same with Weatherford, and they're taking care of business in John Marshall and Chickasha. Looking around the rest of the state here, some of the lower classes for you. Class A, big time game going on in Hooker right now. The Texas County and the Oklahoma Panhandle, as the Bulldogs host Fairview, the defending Class A champs in Dakota.
How's that game going, Tyler?
Fairview leading 42-14 at the break. We talked about Jax Bernard being an absolutely fantastic player, and he's showing it in that first half against that's a really good Hooker team.
And that's what I was about to say.
Fairview's doing. Yeah.
We've been talking about Hooker this week, and I thought that would be a closer game in my opinion.
Yeah, that is a big time surprise there. A couple others. Texoma Goodwill leading Burns Flat Dill City 44-0 at the half in Class A. Last night, Moreland, they got a win on the road against Merritt, 28-6.
Yeah.
So we've got a few other Class A scores of note. I think that will do it for right now. Sayre and Thomas Fay Custer actually going at it. Thomas Fay Custer leads 26-0 at the half.
What is that, Craig Hickson's first year there?
I believe so. And a bit of a surprising score here. Watonga Crescent going at it. If this is correct, Watonga leads 17-14 over Crescent right now at the half. That would be an interesting score. Miko taking on Cashin. That's in Cashin, future Boomer opponent, non-district game. Miko up 38-0 in that game in the second quarter. Moving on to Class B, 8-man scores for you here. O'Kane leads Beaver at the half, 44-6. Regent Prep, one of the top teams in Class B right now, trailing Wetumpka 34-27. It's Balco Forgan on top of Herman Hillsdale, 30-0 in the third quarter. Sealing has defeated Cherokee tonight, 56-0. Laverne takes down Alec, 50-0 in Laverne. Pond Creek Hunter and Wilcomas in the tight one at the half. Wilcomas up 22-20. Another good one in Class B, Covington Douglas against Garber. Covington Douglas leads 18-6 at the half. Shattuck put 70 on Central Marlowe. They won 70-22, a final there. Ringwood Canton, the game we were watching going into the week. Ringwood on top big right now, 42-6.
Wow.
In the second quarter. See if we got any Class C scores, maybe check in on a few. As big one here, ooh, Sharon Mutual, who is just really catching some steam to start the season.
Yeah.
They trail Medford 52-12 at the break. Medford rolling in that game right now. Number one in Class C, Tipton, they lead Bray Doyle 58-16 at the half. Timberlake taking on Deer Creek Lamont, wins 56-8. Buffalo and Tyrone tied 14-all early going in that one first quarter. Winoka up on Boise City 12-0 at the break. We'll see if try to check in on some of those 6-man scores in Texas. We know our own Kate Kinney right now on K101 is checking in from Follett as the Panthers are hosting Booker. We've also got big clash tomorrow ahead in Southwest Kansas as Meade will take on Zumblette. That's two undefeated teams. Meade trying to continue their role. And I say all that to give a shout out, of course, to Friday Night Quick Scores going on K101 currently. CJ Montgomery, Chris Eubank, the representative, Carl Newton, leading things there. And then live check-ins, as we mentioned, from Kate Kinney, the Regent Jeff Hickman. He's checking in from that Hooker-Fairview game at Hooker tonight. And so a lot going on. I believe Dave Hunzak will be on the program tonight to preview the matchup for Oklahoma State and Iowa State tomorrow. Dakota conference play opening in the Big 12. I just mentioned that Oklahoma State-Iowa State game in Ames. At 3 o'clock.
Tough place to play, Tyler.
Tough road assignment for Oklahoma State to begin their conference play for the Big 12. That should be an interesting one. Again, 3 o'clock kickoff. Pregame coverage starts at 1 o'clock. On K101 tomorrow, it's OU early as they'll be on the road against Cincinnati to open Big 12 play. That game kicks off at 11. Pregame coverage begins at 9. So college football definitely be something to watch tomorrow. A lot of big-time conference matchups going on to begin Big 12 play. With that, we're under about 10 minutes to go here in the half. Boomers do trail 22-0 at the break, and we will step aside. Come back for more in the Boomer Halftime Show. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
It was a normal day.
He was in some minor accident, a fender bender.
And I had this impulse to call him, but I didn't because I thought I could call him later that week.
He abandoned the car, he came home, and he shot himself without ever talking to anyone.
When I came home that night and I found her, they told me that she had shot herself, and I couldn't believe it.
I asked if he was okay.
Taking a gun into your house for protection is a terrible myth.
Once you pull that trigger, that's it. There is no coming back.
65 Americans a day die by gun suicide. Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammunition. Help stop suicide. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy. You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year. At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with a link.
Okay, smart.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Dakota Wagner and Tyler Riggs with you. At the break, the Boomers do trail 22-0 in their district opener to the Cache Bulldogs here in Cache. Sun is still in the night. We're in the dark. Got a little bit of wind, but temps cooling down. Dakota, we've recapped some things from that first half. We've talked about some of those adjustments the Boomers need to make. I mean, I think overall, defensively, the Boomers, I think, have handled things well. You've been faced with some short fields. You have given up a touchdown or two, but at the same time, you've also forced a field goal or two and have been able to stand up tall in critical situations. And in situations where it's third and short, it's not like Cache got the first down plus a lot more. They just barely got it, enough to get the first. So I think right now, the good news is I think maybe the defense could start out giving us some momentum to begin the second half because they will be on the field first. Cache will receive to start the second.
The defense, Tyler, has been doing a pretty good job finally figuring things out in the second quarter like you were talking about. But the offense, they're just not creating enough room and enough time for Douglas Fisher and Ace Long to get things going. And Cache's defense is bringing too much pressure. So we got to tighten things up on the offensive line and try to get them enough time to get things rolling.
Yeah, and I think the offensive line is definitely the group that it's got to find some sort of continuity, some sort of consistency, because like you said, it's just been, that's where the game's been decided so far in the first half for the Boomers, is that either Douglas Fisher, like I said, hasn't really had the time he's wanted to have when he's back to pass. And then as far as the run game goes, it's been a situation where as soon as they hand it off, there's just nobody there to give a block, it seems like. We've seen Ace Long have, one positive run so far.
It seems like you're either already beat as an offensive lineman, or they're just coming over you and they're getting to them as soon as possible.
And I think part of that is some of the edge pressure, if you will, from the Bulldogs. We did mention it's a three-man front, but they also bring up, linebackers, some of those defensive ends, do some of those things to make it a bit more difficult. And, when they want to blitz, it kind of seems like it gets upon you a little faster than you think, maybe.
Yeah, so we've got some waters here, Tyler. Kind of threw me off there. Oh, the Boomers come back out on the field.
They do. We got about 3 minutes or so. They're with their stretches going here as they've got kind of a competition going on, kind of if you've seen the Dr. Pepper scholarship deal where you're thrown into the can, they've got that similar going on, but instead of big cans, it's just whiteboards with the cutout.
Yeah.
So, but they're throwing footballs in it from 5 yards out, and it's kind of, I would say it's preventing the Boomers from stretching, but you just need a half an end zone to do it.
Yeah,
so.
A little halftime performance, fun, entertainment.
Yeah.
Get something for the fans to look forward to.
For sure. Well, with that, we will take one final halftime break, come back and have you ready to go for the second half between the Cache Bulldogs and the Woodward Boomers. You're listening on Z92.
Hey, that's one nice new bike, Josie.
Yeah, birthday present. Rides really smooth, too. Oh, and I see you finally got a new helmet.
I did. Bought it cheap online.
Love those side wings.
Hey, are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm starving. And need some water, too.
Okay, follow me. We'll turn off here.
I'm right behind you.
Hey, watch the cars. They can be crazy.
Teddy! No! Are you okay? Teddy! Somebody do something!
I called 911. They should be here soon.
Was this young man hit by a car?
Yes, and I'm concerned because his helmet is smashed and cracked open.
It's a brand new helmet!
It's probably a fake.
Please help him.
Fakes cause real harm. You're smart. Buy smart.
Go for real.
Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
The Age of Reason took place over 200 years ago. It was a time of amazing scientific and philosophical progress all over the world. truth, reason, and tolerance thrived and even shaped the Constitution of the United States of America, the foundation of our democracy. But now those building blocks of America, of democracy, are under attack. In just 2 decades, big tech social media billionaires have allowed their platforms to roll back truth, facts, and tolerance, and fill the screens in our homes and in our pockets with lies and hate. Online disinformation and hate affect everything, everyone, everywhere. It splits us apart, hurts our children, polarizes our societies, and is literally leading to violence and terror in our communities. Lies and hate everywhere are a threat to all people, anywhere. Be a part of the change. Help defend the future of our democracy. Go to counterhate.com to learn more.
Back on G92 and Boomer TV. Woodward, Tyler Riggs with you as we are about ready to get going in the second half. Boomers do trail 22-0 at the break over the Bulldogs. Cash will get the ball to start the second half. Dakota, we mentioned the defense, for the most part, when they get a chance to defend the field, doing a good job. Stopping drives, showing some physicality. Casey Bourne has been fantastic in that first half. It seems like we call his name on every play.
He's been making some pretty crucial plays.
We've seen Peyton Carter come up with a couple big stops as well, and our defensive backs haven't really got beat deep yet, which is, you know, that again is something positive note that you could carry. But I think the big thing you want to see is a 3-and-out if possible, but you want to force Cash to punt on this first possession for the Boomers.
Yeah, you do, Tyler. If you do that, you're kind of changing their momentum or shifting their momentum coming into the second half. Tyler, we got to find something on offense too. And if we force a 3-and-out, we got to find something on offense. We got to fight back. We got to say something. We got to get our name up on that board.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You got to get on the scoreboard to win the game, right? And so we'll see if they can do that. As the Boomers, I believe, will be kicking off, we'll say into the wind, because they received it with the wind to start the game. We'll see how they go with it. Good crowd for the Boomers. Travel-wise, good 2.5-hour drive. So shout out to those who came. If you didn't come, of course, you're watching or listening to us here. Very much appreciate that. And glad we could make the trip to bring you the action. As always, the band, of course, coming out, providing some home field pep, if you will, for the order crowd. As both teams have returned to their sidelines, getting their final huddles before getting back onto the field. As mentioned, Woodward will kick it to start the half. The Bulldogs will receive. We know they've got some explosive returners. Logan Crawford did return a punt for a touchdown to get the scoring going for the Bulldogs. Have to watch him. As the wind still pretty solid. I'd say at least 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
Yeah, pick up, calms down, picks up, calm down, you know, can't make up his mind.
It shifted a little bit. It was more straightforward, but that's kind of a crosswind in relation to the field, I'd say. Looking at Old Corey to the right of me.
Still in our huddles.
Yeah,
here.
Still taking a good minute. I don't know if they're officially waiting for there's 3 minutes put back on the clock.
Now here we go.
Yeah, as the Bulldogs will take to the field, and as mentioned, as I thought, the Boomers will be kicking into the wind. So Cash will have the wind at their backs in the quarter, which means the Boomers will finish with the wind at their backs to end the game.
Now the Boomers getting lined up.
It will be Ace Long kicking off. Good test of his leg strength here, kicking into the wind. Cash have 3 returners deep, Harbin one of them. Kyrie Coleman another on the far side. And we got a Bulldog on the near hash. As Long gets everybody sit, tallies off his steps. There is the whistle. And Ace Long jogs into it, puts the kick in, and that one will be a touch short. Filled at the 20, bobbled for a moment, by Hans, who returns it to the 30, cuts up to the 35, and gets stripped, and a late flag comes out.
I think it might be on the Boomers. Jake Graff had a little extra contact on the sidelines, kind of near the 35-yard line.
As Hans was getting tackled out of bounds. So that'd be unfortunate. That put it near the midfield.
Holding on the receiving team.
So a bit of a break for the Boomers, as instead of up at about the 37, maybe 38, Cash will start this drive a bit further back, as I think they'll mark the holding right at the end of the play. They do from the 39. So push it to the 29 is where the Bulldogs will take over to start the second half. 11:53 to go in the third quarter, just underway. Be Harbin in the gun. 2 receivers to the near, 2 to the far. In the backfield is Muldowney. Boomers 4-man front. Everybody else spread out. Hand off inside to Muldowney. No, Harbin pulls it this time. A Boomer in the backfield all over him for a big loss. Couldn't tell what number. It wasn't Carter. It wasn't Bourne.
29.
Yeah, that's Bowen Morton making the big play. Reading that one on the read option. That's a loss of 6 back to the 20, loss of 7 back to the 22, so big tackle for loss.
Like to see the momentum coming out of the halftime break.
Second and long for the Bulldogs. 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Harbin in the gun. Swing pass to Muldowney, far side. Cuts it upfield, lowers that shoulder on Cash Carter. Good job by Cash Carter to stay on top of him despite the hit and bring him down.
The backup QB getting some action.
Yeah, not afraid to get in there. 1-yard gain officially on the catch and run by Muldowney. Third and long quickly for the Bulldogs. 10:56 to go in the third. 3rd and 16 they'll say. Cash has to get to the 39. Harbin in the gun. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Muldowney in the backfield. Harbin back to pass. Under pressure early. Throws over the middle. Has a man. It's caught. It's Crawford. He's got it at the 30. Trying to spin out of a tackle. The Boomers hanging on to him and finally drag him down. Great job, Cooper Latal. No, that was Cash Carter again.
Yeah, you got to give Cash Carter credit, Tyler. He was with him every step of the way, hanging on to that left ankle and never letting go.
Ball got up to the 33. So a gain of about 6, and it will force a punt by Cash. So just what we were asking for, a 3 and out.
A 3 and out.
Back deep to return looks to be cheap for the Boomers. A whistle.
Uh-oh.
A flag. False start. So this backs it up more. Excuse me, that's actually Colin Bourne back to return. False start. For the Boomers.
Got the shiny gold cleats.
He does, matching the gold numbers. So instead of about 4th and 7, it'll be 4th and 6, it'll be 4th and 11. So where you want to change that momentum. Well, the issue here is that Cash will get to punt it with the wind. Here's the snap taken by Angel. Drops the high punt, not very far. It's off to the middle of the field, across the 50 to the 45, and it's down at the 44-yard line. Boomers will start in good field position at their own 44. 9:53 to go in the third quarter.
Closing out on that punt was number 57 for the Boomers. Trey, is it?
We'll get clarification on that with a man on the deal there, Mr. Scott.
Oh, Rosadore.
Oh, Rosadore. Eric Scott's messing up. Boomers take over 1st and 10 of the gun. Douglas Fisher going with a screen pass to Long. Gets it to him. Long across the 45 to the 47 maybe. Short gain, but a positive one on 1st down.
Long runs out of bounds. Didn't have much on the sideline, but he gets what he can with it.
Oyasarode, there we go. There's the correct pronunciation you're looking for. Goodness. That one's going to have to be the one we get used to. 2-yard catch and run by Long on 1st down. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Trips the near one to the far. Long in the backfield with Douglas Fisher. Snap, handoff, fumble on the exchange. It's loose, and the Bulldogs, how about no, it's still loose. Bulldogs had it for a moment. The Boomers get it back. They do. A huge break for Woodward, I think, because Cash had that dead to rights.
And, yep, recovered by Woodward.
That could have been far worse. I mean, it's still not great. It's a 3rd and long, but that could have been an instant turnover. Instead, Woodward at least have a chance on 3rd down. Looked like Cash had that dead to right, somehow squirted out.
Man, that would have set Cash up for great field position.
It would have. Still a big loss from the 47 to the 39, 8 yards officially. And just a missed exchange on the handoff. Douglas Fisher wanted to give it to Long, but instead he was looking to block. Douglas Fisher in the gun, 4 to the near, 1 to the far. Back to pass. Has time. Step up in the pocket. He's going to have to scramble. Flag comes out. It will be a holding. Douglas Fisher gets up to the 50 and steps out of bounds. But 2 penalty markers come down. It's in the area of holding. This will back the Boomers up for a 3rd and even longer. There it is, the hold call. So you'll go from the 39 to the 29. And it'll go from 4th and 16 to 4th and 20, or at 3rd and 16 to 3rd and 26. Once the hold is marked off. Again, Dakota, those mental mistakes, you get a fumble, you recover it, but it's a huge loss. Then you've got the holding call. Just hasn't been there offensively tonight.
No, it just seems like you can't catch a break no matter what quarter it is. It's just something's happening.
3rd and 26 from the Boomers 29. You've got to get into Cash territory at the 45 for the 1st down. Douglas Fisher back to pass, empty backfield. He's going to scramble out to the near side, has some time, fires it over the middle, has a man caught, it's cheap, lowers his shoulder, and gets knocked out of bounds at the Boomers 45, so gets back the fumble and penalty yardage to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 10.
That's what you like to see. The effort play there originally looked like he was going to go with Ace Long, but a gap opened up that forced Cheap open, and that's what he went with.
That spot here where maybe you're trying to go for it. I mean, you're down 22-0. I know it's 4th and 10, but you're near midfield. Your defense has stood tall a couple times. It looks like they might.
Might go with
Long's going to be taking
here.
the snap. Yeah, he might take the pooch punt as they're spread out. Long takes the snap, and sure enough, the quick drop kick.
Beautiful.
And a good one. It rolls inside the 20 to the 15, almost to the 10. It gets to the 10, and they're letting it roll a bit more to the 9. So a good little drop kick, effective on the punt. As you get a about 52-yard punt out.
Last time the Boomers were on defense, they forced a 3 and out. Let's see if they can do it again.
Bulldogs take back over. 7:44 to go in the 3rd quarter. They do lead 22-0. The Boomers force a 3 and out on their first possession of the 2nd half. See if they, as you mentioned, can do it again. Tyler Harbin will lead them onto the field. Be in the gun for Cash. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, and H-back as well on the far side. Robinson's the running back. Harbin fumbles the snap initially, but hands it off to Robinson. He's not going to have much room to work with, and he'll actually lose a yard or 2 as a couple of Boomers will get there, Dakota.
Yeah, keeping up with contact and never stepping down was Kaysen Boren and Zane Weibel.
I believe Peyton Carter as well on the tackle. Those 3 cornering Robinson.
Robinson with the carry, little shaken up. He'll go down to the sideline and get checked out.
Yeah, some with his ankle maybe. He lost 2 on the play.
Maybe got a cramp going.
2nd and 12. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Harbin in the gun. Running back is still Robinson. Or no, actually he's out, excuse me. We'll hand it off inside. That is Thomas, I believe. Yep, Josiah Thomas spins his way to the 10, gets to the 11. Gains back some yards, but still a 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs.
On the tackle there looked to be like Josiah Beza.
See if the Boomer defense can force another 3 and out. Cash backed up, so they're on 11. Harbin will be in the gun. 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Muldowney will be the running back behind Harbin. 6:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. And now a flag comes in. Not sure what this will be. A false start, they'll say again. Dakota, and they've called this both ways. It's not like they're calling it one way or another in terms of favoritism. They're really watching those twitches.
They keeping an eye on it. I don't know how they see every little mistake they're making, Tyler.
It's really been a focus, it seems like, for them. So backs Cash up 5 more yards, makes it a 3rd and long again. From the 6-yard line, they've got to get to the 19. 6:24 to go in the third quarter. They do lead 22-0 as they're firing the T-shirt cannon. Harbin in the gun, Muldowney behind him. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Harbin back to pass his own end zone. Quick zip over the middle, caught almost near the sticks. It gets to the 20, the 21, and it's a first down for the Bulldogs. Kyrie Coleman, I believe, on the catch.
And Colin Bourne on the takedown there. Tyler, he just had too much height, just carried it with him. Colin Bourne could not stop him.
Cash goes quick, swings out a pass. R.J. Samuels, far side. He cuts it up to the 25 and gets knocked out of bounds at the 25. A gain of 4 on first down.
Knocking him out of bounds is going to be Cash Carter.
2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs at their own 25. Harbin in the gun. 2 receivers each side. Back to pass. Another swing pass, this time to the near. Up to the 30 and tripped over finally. And he's won a face mask, is the Bulldog.
There on the tackle is going to be Colin Boren and Cooper Lataw.
Luke Montgomery on the catch and run. Does get near the sticks, gets a gain of 4. So it's up a 3rd and short. Quick snap here, ball on the ground from Harbin, and he's going to lose yards as he tried the quick sneak, and it's a loss of about 2, maybe 3, and it sets up a 4th and 3 on the botch snap.
Getting there quickly is number 52, Peyton Carter. Sniffed it out.
So the Boomers catch a break, force a cash punt off the mishandled snap on 3rd and short. Boomers playing it tight just to make sure in case of a fake here, as there's 2 gunners out far. Ben Angel is on the punt for the Bulldogs. Now backing up is Colin Bourne. And Angel does indeed step into the punt with the wind behind him. It's a good one. Carrying to the 30, good bounce down to the 20, to the 15, still rolling, and will die at the 13-yard line. And that's where Woodward will take over. But Dakota, again, you force another stop. Now you got to get the offense on the board.
You know, it relies on the offensive hands now, Tyler, to get things going. See if they can get a rhythm going, like you said, maybe get some of that confidence or something, energy from the defense. Maybe they can translate it over.
Time is starting to be a factor as you have 4:30 left in the third quarter. Yes, you do have all the fourth quarter, but Cash, for the most part, is doing their job of, if they are going to punt it, they're getting a few plays, getting time off the clock right now with the lead. Ryan Douglas Fisher will be in the gun. 2 receivers to the near, 2 to the far, long in the backfield with Douglas Fisher.
Try to rush a man late on the field for Cash, but don't have enough time. We'll keep him out.
And now a whistle and a timeout by the Boomers. Coach Gordon not liking some, and will take the timeout. So 4:30 to go in the third. Boomers trail 22-0. Have it at their own 13. Trying to make a drive. We'll step aside for a break of our own. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
1 in 4 people have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also an actor and advocate for disability inclusion across all aspects of life. The disability community is passionate, strong, powerful. We have so much to offer and deserve to be included in society. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Eat Your Seals is delivering services, advocacy, and local supports that elevates the communities for everyone. That's my Eat Your Seals. Make it yours. EatYourSeals.com.
And welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. As we're out of the timeout, the Boomers is trying to start their drive. They've got it 1st and 10 at their own 13, trailing 22-0. 4:30 to go in the third to the Cash Bulldogs. Offense has been out of the rhythm tonight. We'll see if they can find it here. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Long in the backfield. Man in motion. Snaps over Douglas Fisher. He has to try to go for it, but the Cash Bulldogs recover. Gunnar Tate falls on it at the 3-yard line. And again, another crucial turnover for the Boomers.
Wow, Tyler, you know, in that timeout, I thought the Boomers were going to find something to go, but unfortunately not. A snap over the head of Douglas Fisher, like you said. And I think they're going to move the ball maybe up the yard to the 1-yard line. No, they're going to back it to the 3.
These turnovers have been absolutely killer tonight for the Boomers. As Cash takes back over 4:25 to go in the third at the Boomer 3, so it'll be a 1st and goal. Harmon under center. Everybody packed in tight. 3 to the near, 1 to the far. Man goes in motion. They hand it to him. It's Robinson trying to cut it up, but Boomer's on him, standing him up. He's trying to fight for it. Does he get there on the second effort? He does. Cash adds another one. Nick Robinson on the second effort. Excuse me. That'd be Josiah Thomas. Thomas on the second effort. Keeps the feet moving and gets it in for the Bulldogs.
Kason Bourne made first contact, but unfortunately the offensive line comes in behind and pushes him forward, Tyler.
And the swinging gate formation for Cash again. Let's see if the Boomers can stop it this time. As Camden Hance be the quarterback, Robinson behind him in the gun. And they chunk it to Muldowney from the center position, and it's good. Pushes forward and in, so Cash emptying their swinging gate playbook, and they lead 30-0 over the Boomers with 4:17 to go in the third quarter. At a one-play, 3-yard drive set up by the fumble. Boomers in their own territory. Well, Dakota, now you've got the hole you've dug. Boomers have got to continue to find a way out of it, like we talked about at halftime in the early game. Don't give up the fight.
No, you can't. You got to put in effort, even though you're not in what you want to be, Tyler. Down by 30, you got to keep going.
That you do. We'll see how they respond. Angel will have the wind with them on the kick. Back deep to return will be long on the far side. Cole Moore is still out there on the near side.
I believe you're correct.
As Angel will sit up. On the far hash for the kick. Still waiting on the officials' whistle.
There we go.
Angel begins his jog to it. Wind dies down here right before the kick. It's a bit of a knuckleball, returnable, caught by Moore. Cuts it up to the 15, the 20, has some space, now to the 25, chopped down at the 25-yard line. The Boomers will start their drive there. 4:09 to go in the third quarter. Boomers trail 30-0. Got to find something here before the end of the quarter. It's just not been there offensively. A myriad of turnovers, penalties. Just hasn't been together.
Hasn't been their day.
Douglas Fisher will be in the gun, trips to the near. Nobody to the far side, but 2 running backs in the backfield, Long and I believe Cole Moore. Douglas Fisher checks back to the sideline. It is Moore with him back there. Or actually, it might be Medina. I apologize. Douglas Fisher takes the snap. It was Stinnett. Swings out to Medina at the 20. He shakes off a tackle. Is going to lose, and now cuts it back. Tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. Can't get there as he'll lose 3. It'll be a 2nd and 13 for the Boomers.
That was kind of an awkward play. If he would have cut back around a little bit farther back and then made his way towards the Woodward sideline, might have had a chance, but unfortunately just kind of gets swallowed up there.
Yeah, and again, just, I mean, as soon as he's catching that, he's getting contacted. So you've got to fix that. Got to be a bit better blocking. 3:30 to go in the quarter and counting. Boomers trail 30-0. 2nd and 12, they'll say. Douglas Fisher will be in the gun. Everybody packed in tight. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Long behind Douglas Fisher. Low snap, fakes the handoff. Rolls out to the far side, looking to pass. Has some time, now steps up under pressure, trying to fight forward. He's going to be nearly taken down. Oh, they blow the whistle early.
Wow.
Douglas Fisher thought he had broke out of the tackle, but I can kind of understand it's the quarterback. They want to protect him.
They want to blow the whistle for it to be dead if he's not going anywhere, but as soon as he breaks free, it's unfortunate.
So it'll be a loss of 2.
Oh, we're going to have a injured player again. I think that's Nick Robinson.
It is. As he's down, dealt with, you mentioned on last couple possessions.
Yeah, they're working out a cramp last time. I don't know if it's the same thing. It could be something else triggered. He's going to walk it off, he says.
Yeah, and it might be, you know, people think, well, why don't you cramp when it's hot? Well, once it cools down, you've already spent your energy, and that's when those cramps could kind of settle in a little bit easier. That may be what's happening here. He does get up and walk on the field by himself. Bit of a limp, and I think, like I said, just dealing with that cramp again, maybe. Kind of gripping at his calf. So the Boomers will have it 3rd and 15 at their own 20, 2:52 to go in the third quarter. Been backed up on 2 plays so far, 2 losses. Tried to go with the swing pass on first down, it wasn't there. Tried to go with a rollout on second down, and that led to nothing as well. Douglas Fisher in the gun. Trips to the far side, 1 to the near. That's Medina on the near side, stacked 1-on-1. Long in the backfield with him. Back to pass. Nolan throws it short to Long, and Long wasn't quite ready for it as he was, I think, starting to leak out, but didn't really have much to do.
I don't think that was initially intended for Long, as the pressure was just too much, and I think Long was the only option he had, so he had to get rid of it.
I think it was. Incompletion brings up 4th and 15. So Long stays on the field to punt for the Boomers. Got to be careful here. They had a return from a short position the first time. About this area where it would have been a 45-yarder about. Boomers run a man on late. Under 10 on the play clock. They get it back to Long. He puts a boot into it. Good kick, despite being into the wind. Back up to the 50 for the return. And now cutting to the 45 Boomer territory. Get tripped up good. Open field tackle by Kason Bourne as he got the man just barely. Medina had to fly over him.
Yeah, looks like Medina may have clipped him in the head.
Oh, yeah, it was an unfortunate accident. That was Luke Montgomery on the punt return.
He's holding his head. It looks like he'll be all right.
Nothing malicious by Medina. It was just trying to roll up and kind of hopped over him.
Yeah, trying to keep out of his way, and unfortunately just gets clipped.
And again, Kason Bourne on the open field tackle. Good trip up. Still, though, Cash will have good field position at the Boomer 38-yard line. 2:32 to go in the third quarter. Boomer defense, again, going to have to try to find a stop. As Tyler Harbin leads Cash offense onto the field. 2 to the far, 1 to the near. Backfield's going to be Coleman. Hold down the up back, the hand off to Coleman. A Boomer there on him initially. He breaks out of the tackle, though, still fighting forward, and then gets slung down for only a gain of 1. Good job by the Boomers, and that's, you know, when you know that run's coming, you got to be on it. They were on it that time.
First, yeah, you're right. First contact was Zane Weibel, and then to wrap him up was the big man, Kason Bourne.
Now we got a Boomer maybe potentially down. Whistle on a timeout here.
Oh man, you give me the hard name. Trey, Eric, we need you over here.
Oh my gosh, he's calling in Eric Scott.
Arasa.
Oyasarode. There we go. Gonna say it with us. Oyasarode. So he's down for a moment, maybe dealing with a cramp as they're working on his leg. And started to kind of come off the field and then woke up. Clock stopped with 2:06 to go in the third quarter. Oyasarode being attended to. Boomers do trail 30-0. 2nd and 9 is what Cash will have once we get out of the injury timeout. Dakota practicing his Oyasarodes over there.
Oyasarode.
Just gotta say it a few times.
Oyas.
Think oh yes, but Oyas.
Oyasarode.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Man, you're a good coach, Tyler. You know that.
As they do help the young man off the field. Looks like worked out the cramp. He'll get up under his own power. I think that's, again, we just talked about with Robinson for Cash. This is that time where it starts to settle in. And he'll be fine walking off the field, just walking it out. 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Harbin will be under center. 2 receivers to the, 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Coleman in the backfield. Boomers showing a 5-man front in motion. Goes Thomas. Thomas takes the end-around handoff. Gets up to near the 30-yard line at the, excuse me, Kyrie Coleman. I'm getting mixed up on my numbers. Thomas 13. That was Kyrie Coleman.
Got another injured Boomer down on the field. Tyler, unfortunately, that's going to be Peyton Carter. Looks like he's grabbing his shoulder. Or his arm.
The Boomers will have they force a 3rd and 3 from Cash. It's a gain of 6. And Carter does pop up.
Walks on his own power.
Yeah.
Uses his arm.
Not sure what maybe a singer, that sort of thing. Did pop up quick after kind of holding it for a minute. 6-yard gain by Kyrie Coleman of the Bulldogs.
Could have been an awkward cramp.
Could have been. We'll have to see.
Now here the offense will come back out on the field, and then so do the Boomers.
3rd and short for Cash. 1:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Boomers trying to come up with another stop. Harmon will be under center. Daniels will be in the backfield. 2 receivers to the near, 2 to the far for the Bulldogs. Boomers showing 4-man front. Man goes in motion. Instead, they'll hand it off to Daniels. Leaks forward, gets across the marker to the 27-yard line. It'll be a first down by a yard for the Bulldogs. 4-yard run by Daniels.
Meeting him right away is going to be Peyton Collier.
1st and 10 for the Boomers. Or, goodness, for the Bulldogs at the Boomer 27. 1:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. Cash trying to extend their lead. They lead 30-0. Harmon will be under center. Trips the far one to the near. Man in the backfield. Daniels, man goes in motion. That's going to be Thomas. Takes the handoff in the round, has space, gets up to the 20, flag comes down, might have a hold here. Back at about the line of scrimmage as Thomas fights forward to the stick. Almost a first down, may have gotten there. As he gets inside the 20 to the 17, it will be, for now, just enough for a first down, but the flag is pending. And it looks like it was thrown in the area of holding. We'll see if that will be the call. As Daniels was battling back behind the play. Block.
Here comes the call. It's going to be
holding on the defense. Tough for the Boomers. So that will, I believe, tack on a few more yards here. It's going to be a first down regardless.
Coach Gording wanted an explanation here.
Goes from the 17-yard line, half the distance, to the 9. So 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. Harmon under center, 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Daniels in the backfield. Thomas goes in motion. They hand it inside to Daniels. He's got a blocker 2, fights inside the 5. Gets chopped down at the 4-yard line. They gave him progress to the 3. Gain of 6. Cash will have a 2nd and goal from the Boomer 3-yard line.
He did a good job of following his blockers that time, but unfortunately the defense was just getting overpowered.
35 seconds to go in the 3rd. Boomers trying to hold Cash out of the end zone. Harmon under center. Trips the far one to the near. And the backfield's Daniels. In motion goes Thomas. Harmon will try to take himself up the gut on the QB sneak, gets to the 1, and they'll mark him short of the goal line. So it brings up a 3rd and goal from the 1.
Boomer defense holding up tight, Tyler, just barely.
See if Cash tries to run a play before the end of the quarter. We're down to 5 seconds. Looks like they'll be content to take it to the 4th. And at the end of 3, Cash leads the Boomers 30-0 in this district opener contest. We'll step aside. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
Parenting is hard. Technology can make it harder. The Family Media Plan developed by the American Academy of Pediatrics helps make it easier. Go to healthychildren.org/media plan to set the media priorities and create the media plan that's right for your family. Raising kids in the age of screens is easier when you have a plan. Go to healthychildren.org/media plan today. That's healthychildren.org/media plan.
Tyler Ridge with you as we begin the 4th quarter. Cash leads the Boomers 30-0, and they are threatening with 3rd and goal from the 1.
You know, this defense, Tyler, has proven tonight that they can stop them. Let's see if they can stop them on the 1-yard line. I know it's going to be a little difficult with that heavy load up front, but nothing's impossible.
Third and goal from the 1, might as well be inches. This is inside the 1 truly. Hartman tried to QB sneak it to end the third quarter, didn't quite get in. He'll be under center again. Trips to the near, 1 to the far. Back in the backfield, it's Daniels. Boomer stacked up on the line. Hartman puts man in motion. They hand off to Daniels. He falls forward into the end zone for the touchdown. And Cash converts again. They'll take a 36-0 lead over the Boomers in the beginning of the fourth quarter.
And Tyler, not a whole lot you can do there with just inches away, but man, Boomer defense held on as long as they could.
They definitely tried, but just couldn't quite get the stop. As on for the extra point will be Ben Angel. Cash not going with a 2-point conversion attempt this time. Kick is up, and that is good. Angel's been clean on his field goals and extra point attempts. And Cash officially leads 37-0 with 11:57 to go in the ball game. That drive taking 2:35 off the clock and going 7 plays and 38 yards. Short field off the long punt distance from the Boomers. They had to punt deep in their own territory. And Dakota, if you're Coach Gordon here, I mean, you're telling your guys to say, hey, let's, I mean, I know it's a sizable difference at this point, but you got to find some momentum offensively, right? You want to find something coming back from homecoming next week against Weatherford. That's going to see one of the best athletes in state come to you, and C.J. Nixon. You want to find some momentum.
A lot of people look at the scoreboard, Tyler, and they give up. But if I'm a coach down there, I'm happy. I'm getting excited. I'm trying to get my guys pumped up, and I'm trying to get them to finish this game, even though the
looks
scoreboard.
On the table.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I mean, just keep going, keep fighting, get some momentum, get something. Yeah. Be proud of yourself by the end of the game, no matter the score.
As Angel will line up to kick this one off. The Boomers deep to return. It's going to be long on the far side. Colt Moore on the near side hash inside the 10-yard line. It should be a returnable kick as Angel has to kick into the gusting wind with a crosswind to deal with. Checking with his guys to make sure he's ready to go. And puts the boot into it. It is a targeted short kick. This one going to be fair caught at the 21, and that's where Woodward will take over to begin their drive. Still 11:57 to go in the fourth quarter.
Looks, they're going to keep Douglas Fisher, or they're going to put Cash Carter in there trying to see. Looks like
maybe Ace
Long instead.
Yeah, bit of a wildcat sit, so to speak.
Go
long in the gun.
5 wide?
5 wide to the near. And he'll take it himself. QB draw up the gut, falls forward to the 25, plowing forward to the 30. And not enough for the first down, but going to be close.
How about you like to see Ace Long take it up the middle and get something?
Gets a gain of 9 on first down.
I'm going to go 5 wide again here, Tyler, I think.
And this is just the kind of similar package we saw last year. Just give it to Ace, let him work. Sure enough, QB draw again, this time a flag.
Probably a false start, I believe.
I think so. Ace would have maybe had the first.
Yep, going to be a false start on the Boomers, back them up 5.
So make it a 2nd and 6 instead of a 2nd and 1. Woodward. So 2nd and 6 now from the 25 for the Boomers. Got to get to the 31-yard line. 11:30 to go in the game. They trail 37-0. As Long continues to be in the gun, we'll have 5 receivers to the near, nobody to the far. Seems to be a QB draw package or maybe a quick throw. This time it is the quick throw, slant out to Douglas Fisher. Maybe the double pass. No, he slips up. It's going to be a big loss. Back to the 18-yard line.
You know, kind of bobbles the ball there and wastes a little time there, but if he catches it cleanly there, he might have had maybe a gain for a couple yards.
This will be a 3rd and 13 for the Boomers from their own 18. Got to get to the 31. This play results in that loss. Douglas Fisher will be in the gun. 3 receivers to the far, 2 to the near. Cash threatening pressure, and now
I'll start again.
Is that another false start on the Boomers? It is. Goodness. Just the mistakes piling up. Let's be back to the 13-yard line. One really picking up now for us. Really picking up. Douglas Fisher in the gun. 3 to the far, 2 to the near. Back to pass. Snap low. Collects it. Has to step up in the pocket. He'll take off. Tries to get his way out of a tackle. Gets across the 15. Fumbles it forward, actually. And the Boomers, I think. Or no, okay, wasn't a fumble. Thought it was for a minute. But instead, does get up to the 17-yard line. Gains some yards back, but it will force a Woodward punt, as it'll be still 4th and long. Got back essentially one of the false start penalty yards.
Yeah, you know, he didn't have, we're gonna have a flag, and that's gonna be on Coach Ken Gordon. He was on the field and said a little wise words.
Yeah, I think he's just, you know, not necessarily, not that he'd be frustrated, it's just I think it's one of those nights where not pleased with his guys offensively. I know he's trying to get them lock in this week, district play beginning, fresh start type of thing, and just hadn't worked out here on the road. Long takes the snap, looking to punt, win with them. Good end over ender. Goes out of bounds on the Cash sideline. I believe got over the 50. We'll see where they officially mark it. As the Bulldogs, regardless, we'll start with decent field position, as they'll say the 49-yard line in Boomer territory. So they'll start with plus territory with the Bulldogs. 9:56 to go in the game. I'm sure Cash going to play it a bit conservatively, if you will, trying to drain some of that clock with the lead. They want to leave time for the Boomers.
1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Boy, this wind is really picking up here in the 4th quarter.
Sure is, but not too bad of a breeze.
I mean, it feels nice, but it does not make for the easiest broadcasting, I'm not going to lie.
Now here comes Cash back out on the field. Let's see if this defense can get something rolling again.
1st and 10 at the 50, they say. Harbin in the gun, 2 to the far, 1 to the near. Man in the backfield's Thomas. And Muldowney, the up back. Harbin with the snap, hand off to Thomas up the gut. Gets across the 50, cuts forward to the 45, and group tackled before he's taken down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 on 1st down, a 2nd and 5 for Cash upcoming.
Bringing him down from the pile was first contact by Peyton Carter and never let go.
2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs at the Boomer 45, 9:29 to go in the ball game. Cash with a 37-0 lead. Harbin will be in the gun, 2 to the far, 1 to the near. Up back is Muldowney. Thomas stays in the backfield. Play clock down to 10. Handoff will be to Thomas inside, finds a hole, cuts up to the 40, 35, falls forward to the 30. Oh, ran over a man at the 30. Looked like Colin Boren had him for a second, Dakota, and somehow Thomas stays on his feet. Yeah, late flag.
Words after Tyler Owen, another one. That's going to be on Peyton Carter, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the senior, I think, unfortunately losing his cool a bit.
Getting the emotions.
Yeah. So you tack on the extra yards after the big game from Thomas, and just some frustration, I think, settling in. As the officials discuss, promise magic words said.
There was two flags there, so maybe one could be on the offense, one could be on the defensive. What we're hoping for is the offset.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little chirping going on the sideline. We'll see what it is. You're right, could be offsetting. Could have been some action and reaction situation.
Yeah. You hope for the best, but
personal foul on the Boomers. That's one of the flags. 2nd flag, unsportsmanlike conduct, also against Woodward.
What you weren't hoping for, but what you ended up getting.
So both flags on the Boomers. As Carter does come out. So this sets up Cash inside the Woodward 20. By the time they finish marking this off, might be a 1st and goal because it was the compounding penalties. And that is exactly what happens, as Cash will have it a 1st and goal at the 8.
Wow.
Harbin will be in the gun. 2 to the far, 2 to the near. Muldowney in the backfield with him. 9:06 to go in the game. Cash threatening to add another score. Harbin takes snap, fakes the handoff, looking to run, has a hole on the near side, jukes the man, gets into the end zone and adds it. Tyler Harbin scores from 8 yards out, and Cash tacks on another one. With 8:58 to go in the ball game. 43-0 officially. Cash with the swingy gate, maybe looking for the 2-point conversion as Angel. Oh, now they bring it in.
You know, I'm curious.
Angel will take the extra point.
Kind of curious why they do this. Maybe it just works better than kicking it. Oh.
I got some for that after the section point, probably after break. I explained that a bit. As there's a snap, ball down, kick in the air. Angel gets it through. Cash takes a 44-0 lead over the Boomers with 8:58 to go in the ball game. We'll step aside for a break and come back for the rest of the fourth. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
Do you have frequent nosebleeds? Do you bruise easily? You may have a blood or bleeding disorder. The National Hemophilia Foundation is here to help you learn and understand more. We even offer a local chapter near you. Find support for your blood or bleeding disorder and connect with your local chapter by visiting hemophilia.org/chapters. That's HEMOPHILIA. hemophilia.org/chapters.
Cash tacks on another one. A quick 3-play drive results in an 8-yard touchdown run by Tyler Harbin. The Bulldogs seem the quarterback. They lead 44-0 over the Boomers. Ben Angel set to kick off for Cash. Active return, long, Moore. It's been a couple of short kicks for Angel, kicking into the wind so far in this quarter. It's going to be another short one, catching some air. Fair catch called for, and
oh no,
he bobbles it. Got to get on the ground for it. Cash is going to recover. Maybe it's a scrum. They're still fighting for it at about the 23-yard line. We'll see who comes up within the pile.
Cash
and the Bulldogs recover. They did. Wow. Wrong for the Boomers tonight has gone wrong, Dakota. Cash will take over offensively again. Officials timeout.
Getting a little ball change here.
Taken by Cash. And Dakota, I explained that swinging gate real quick. So, you know, that's something that's becoming a little bit more popular in the sense that you put it on film for teams to worry about. If you convert it, great. Something you can keep in the back pocket. There's a lot of plays you can run out of that formation.
Okay.
And I you know, mentioned that Fairview Hooker matchup. Well, Coach Powers of Hooker says they have over 100 plays in their playbook for swinging gate.
Oh wow, over 100?
You know, they may run 5 of them throughout the year just to put some on film for teams to have to worry about a little extra.
I like it. I mean,
it's a little mind game, if you will.
It's smart.
Yeah, and if you convert it, you convert it. If not, hey, typically save it for kind of more situations where you maybe don't need to convert it. But in those crucial situations, you practiced it enough.
I mean, when you got the size and the athleticism, more power to you.
Yep. So in a timeout taken by Cash, I imagine we'll start seeing some of their twos here. They will have the ball after the muffed kick at the Boomer 23-yard line. Already leading 44-0. Still have 8:50 to go in the ball game. And we'll see how it fares. And yeah, looks like a bunch of the second string coming on for the Bulldogs. The Woodward 23. As Caden Hance, the backup quarterback, steps in to lead the offense. Trips to the near, one to the far. Jarius Daniels in the backfield. Man will go in motion for the Bulldogs. They hand it off to him on the sweep. And back there to wrap him up and throw him down is Kason Bourne. Back at the 26-yard line, they lost the 3.
Didn't even budge, Tyler. I mean, wrapped him up as quickly as they snapped it.
That's what you like to see. Leads to a 2nd and 13 for the Bulldogs. It will be a no rush between plays. Nursing this lead. Saints will be under center. Trips to the near one to the far. Daniels, the running back. Man in motion again. They hand off to Daniels inside. This time has a hole to the 20. Cuts it up, trying to get to the 15 and gets pulled down at the 17-yard line. Good gain. Gets back some of those yards lost and sets up a 3rd and manageable for the Bulldogs.
Hit a good gap there. Cash Carter was looking for a holding call as he thought that's why maybe a gap was opened up, but doesn't get it.
So 3rd and 5. Bulldogs have to get to the 13-yard line. Hance will be under center, trips to the far side, one to the near. Daniels in the backfield. They put the man in motion. Still, they'll hand off to Daniels inside. This time the Boomers are going to be there to plug him for no gain. A couple of Boomers in on the tackle and defensive line. Don't see Peyton Carter out there, so it was not him. And it brings up a 4th and short, as they did give him a couple to the 20. It looks like maybe Cash will settle with a field goal. As Ben Angel will come out. Attempt-wise, setting up for another 32-yard kick, it looks like. 6:50 to go in the ball game. And the kick by Angel into the wind up, and it is good. So Ben Angel's been successful on 3 short tries, a 23-yarder and 2 32-yarders. The Bulldogs lead extended to 47-0 now, with 6:43 to go in the ball game. Brewers offense will get our chance if we can feel the kick cleanly, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it is tough trying to judge that with the wind.
That wind in your face, and man, so many things, like you said, Tyler, could go wrong, and they have.
And Cash taking a little bit of time here, so talk about what's ahead for the week next week for us on Z92 as far as Boomer Productions go. Monday we'll be at Boomer Softball Field as the ladies look to wrap up their season. Getting ready to head to the postseason, actually, but they'll have Shattuck at home on Monday, 5 o'clock, Boomer Softball Field. Dakota and myself will be there to broadcast that one. It'll be a pink out night, so wear your pink.
I know I am.
Of course, have the Boomer Coach show on Wednesday night, Long Shots Bar and Grill. Catch up with Coach Gordon, maybe a couple players. Have a couple other guests on as well from a couple of the Boomer programs. And then Friday night will be homecoming in Boomer Stadium as Woodward will host Weatherford. The Eagles will come into town for the 2nd district game of the season. Will bring a good challenge, I'm sure. Bulldogs ready to kick this one off. It's not Angel. Maybe R.J. Seaman is now kicking. Can't quite tell if that's 23 yet. New kicker either way. Zeroing on the officials, there's the whistle. And a kick in the air, that one even shorter. Kind of targeted, got run up and filled it cleanly. No fair catch called for him. Boomer's going to be able to field it and get it to the 34-yard line. That's what they'll begin this drive in the 4th quarter, 6:39 to go. Not a bad starting field position. See if they kind of go with that different formation look this time, if they just go more to their traditional looks.
Tyler, may see a Cash Carter quarterback here. It's like step underneath.
Yep, seeing some of the 2s in there now for the Boomers as well. I believe Matthew Stinton in the backfield with him. Man will go in motion. Carter takes the snap, hands it to him on the end around, trying to cut it up. Gets to maybe the line of scrimmage, and they drag him back. So some forward progress leaves it as, we'll say, a loss of 1 as they have marked at the 35. trying on the end around. Second 11 for the Boomers. 6:10 to go in the ball game. Carter will be in the gun, Stennett in the backfield with him. Trips to the far, one to the near. Snap taken by Carter, looking to pass, under pressure immediately, has to get it out there, finds a man, I believe, fighting forward, slinging to the 40. Trying to catch a number.
That's going to be Zane Weibel, I believe.
33?
33 or... Yeah, it was Zane Weibel, number 33.
So Zane Weibel, the usual tight end, gets the catch. Able to get a decent gain out of it, finds 7. Good completion from Carter. 3rd and 4 for the Boomers. Got to get to the 45. Got the 41. Carter in the gun, stacked in tight, trips to the near, one to the far. Carter takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling to the near side, has man open. It's again Weibel. Falls forward across the 45. It's a first down. And the senior making the play, getting the first down for the Boomers on the catch and run.
Gonna have a...
There was a
still got to get
there.
up. We got to be number 23 for Cash.
I believe that's R.J. Samuels, as him and Weibel collided past the stick at about the 43 where the tackle was made. Gain of 6 officially for the Boomers. Weibel with back-to-back catches. They'll have it 1st and 10 after this injury timeout. At the
you're right there on that, Tyler. R.J.
48.
Samuels.
Yep. Samuel's kind of one of their... Surprised they're still leaving him in there at this point because he's kind of one of their bigger rotational guys. Maybe not full-time starter.
No, they'll take him to the Southwestern Medical Center down there. The tent, my bad.
1st and 10 for the Boomers at the 48. Trying to get into Cash territory. 5:15 to go in the ball game. Carter in the gun. Trips to the near, one to the far. Stennett in the backfield. Bulldogs showing 3-man front. Carter high snap, takes it under pressure immediately, rolling out to the near side, looking to pass, finds a man open, and it was dropped. Had for a second, I believe that might have been Dawson Heckert for the Boomers, number 6.
It was. Right there on that.
And made a good read that Heckert kind of saw that Carter was in trouble, Dakota.
He had it in his hands and
yeah.
just unfortunately dropped it as soon as he had it with some contact.
Maybe saw some green grass ahead. 2nd and 10. Carter in the gun, trips to the near, one to the forest, and in the backfield with Carter. High snap again, this time over Carter's head. He's got to chase it down and try to fall on it. Does, but not before another huge loss. And it'll set up a 3rd and long for the Boomers back at the 30. It's an 18-yard loss on the botch snap. It's one of those deals that, you know, you got the 2s in there, so you still don't want to see those mistakes.
3rd down, 28.
3rd and 28, they'll say. Boomers have to get to the Cash 42 for a first down. Cash Carter in the gun, trips to the far, one to the near. Carter going with a swing pass to Stennett. He'll catch, cut it upfield, gets to the 30, tries to fight forward for more, but can't. Gets about a yard out of it. And that brings up a 4th and long from the Boomer 31-yard line. Boomer punt unit will come on with 4:05 to go in the game. Counting down will be under 4 minutes by the time the punt happens. See if they have long punt it. Looks like they will. As Bulldogs back up to return. Logan Crawford, who had the punt return touchdown back there. Play clock down to 7. Long will get the snap, puts the boot into it, went behind him, decent kick, spinning sideways. It's muffed by Carter initially, or by Crawford initially, and he'll fill it and get taken down at the 40-yard line.
On the tackle there is going to be no other than Carson Medina.
Yeah, good gunner there on it. Cash will take back over with the 47-0 lead. 3:29 to go in the ball game. Throwing, looks like 38, maybe, no, 39 is what they'll say. Boomers will look to rebound, as we mentioned. Homecoming next week. Weatherford will roll into town. See the likes of C.J. Nixon, one of the top juniors in the country and #1 player in the state, according to 24/7 Sports. is under center. New quarterback for the Bulldogs. They'll hand off on an end around in motion. That's going nowhere. No gain on the play. Boomers make the stop.
Quarterback.
Could quite see. I think 47 for the Boomers. Dakota, who do we got there? The run was Christian Solis for the Bulldogs. Zach Abbott in at quarterback.
That is going to be Trip Bates.
Trip Bates making the tackle.
He was injured early on in the first couple of weeks, and I think he's finally made his return back.
Okay, we'll get some snaps here. 2nd and 9 for Cash. 2:55 countdown to go. Play clock to 10. Abbott under center, trips the near one to the far. Man in motion, Solis. They try to hand it to him, but the play's going to be blown dead. Maybe a false start. It is. Both teams committing a lot of false start penalties tonight.
Something that the officials, like you said early on, are really keeping an eye on are the false starts.
So 2nd and 14 for the Bulldogs instead of 2nd and 9. Clock goes under 2:45 left of the ball game. Cash going to be in no rush to snap this one. They'll wait till at least 10 before they line up. That's what they do. Abbott will be under center. Trips the near one to the far. A man in the backfield in motion. They'll give it on the end around. Has a hole to the 40. Cuts up to the 45. Breaking free. Down the sideline. 30, 25, 15, 10. Another touchdown for the Bulldogs. As he rips it off on a 2nd and 14. And a big run there.
I mean, Tyler, there wasn't no one around the sideline within 2 feet.
Very true. And they'll label that one a 66-yard touchdown run. Bulldogs broke 50. On the run for Cash, catching the edge was Brian Perea. Speeding down the sideline. Export unit on for Cash. And that kick almost blocked, but it's up and it is good. So officially, Cash takes the lead, 53-0. Or 54-0, excuse me. That drive, 3 plays, 66 yards. 61 yards, excuse me. Took about a minute 10 off the clock. So the Boomer offense will get it back. Both teams in their huddle here. Oh, if you're listening on Z92, on K101, do have about 25 minutes left or so on Friday Night Quick Scores. Wrapping up all the action in the Tri-State is CJ Montgomery, Representative Carl Newton, as well as Chris Eubank. Kate Kennedy has been in Follett tonight for the Booker-Follett matchup. Some Texas 6-man action. Jeff Hickman, the Regent, in Hooker for that Fairview-Hooker matchup. Getting live updates with those. And they'll slide into the 5th quarter after their presentation. Sean Kelly will lead that coverage from 10 to midnight. So if you're on Z92, listen out there. Switch over and listen to that. Check in on some of the other action. Come back and forth. You name it. Another football Friday night, week 4. We'll head into week 5 after this one. Season already going by pretty quick. Bulldogs ready to kick this one off. Boomers back to return. In the air against the wind, good kick. Coming up to fill it off his face mask is going to be stinted. He's going to have to fall on it, and does. Back at about the 6. Again, these just really tough to track when you know the wind's going to push it back. That's actually Cole Moore, I believe, on the return. Stinner or Moore, couldn't tell.
No, you're right. You're right on Stinner.
It was Stinner, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Both of them are out there.
I know, it's hard to see with those numbers, those gold ones.
Well, just the pile.
Yeah.
Once the fumble happens, the pile is when it gets tough. So the Boomers take over at their own 7, 2:07 to go in the ball game. Cash Carter returns to lead the offense. He'll be in the gun. 2 receivers to the far, 2 to the near. Carter takes the high snap. Was trying to hand off to Stinnett. Flags come down. Again, a false start. So this will back the Boomers up before they get this drive going.
False start. Woodward.
Be half the distance, I believe, instead of a full 5. So it's pushed back to the 3 from the 7. So now Carter will be standing in his own end zone. You've had some of those high snaps. Carter in the gun, 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Stinnett with him in the backfield, flips him beside him. High snap taken again, handoff inside by Stinnett. Is he going to get out of the end zone? I don't know if he did. Oh, they gave him the 1 yard line, maybe actually the inch yard line is what they gave him forward progress. Dangerously close to the safety. Stinnett just had no blocking for him.
It's just unfortunate there, Tyler.
Under 2 minutes to go in the ball game, Boomers will have a 2nd and 13 from their own 1. Trying to stave off a safety from the Bulldogs. Running the play clock down. Will be Carter in the gun. Trips to the far, 1 to the near. They're 10 on the play clock. Now a timeout taken by Coach Gordon. Once again, guys, kind of, you know, this is an awkward situation, Dakota, for the Boomers. Especially for those 2s that are out there now. You don't face it very often, so Coach Gordon wanted to make sure his guys understand, hey, you know, depending on your play you run here, if it's a pass, you got to be careful not to get a hold. There's a plethora of things that you got to watch out for.
May try to make them jump and try to get some of those yards back, but like you said, Tyler, not a very good field position, and really don't want to put yourself in the deeper hole than you already are.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point it would be indifferential, but still, like I said, you don't want to do that either way. You want to execute with those second string guys. So what play they choose out of this. This is where it's tough when you have the spread offense. You don't have a lot of under center stuff. I know, you know, in some colleges you'll see them be backed up in the 1 and they'll essentially do a QB sneak, and it's like, well, why would you do that? Well, if you get a couple yards out of it, it gives you just more breathing room. You see Iowa, teams like that do it that depend on their run game.
I mean, even if it's just a little, it's something.
Right. 2nd and 13 from their own 1. Carter in the gun. Trips the far 1 to the near. Snap is high. He's got to try to catch it. It goes out of the back zone, or back of the end zone, and it will be a safety. And Cash will tack on 2 more, and that's what we were talking about. Just want to watch those situations. And so on top of the safety, Cash will get it back for the final minute 21. As Boomers will have to punt it away on the safety. We want to thank our great sponsors for with us here on Z92. If I could, the wind has really wreaked havoc with my papers. I don't think I will be able to keep these papers for next week. Be High Plains Tire, gold sponsor of the Coaches Show, Top Cap, formal wear and accessories, Divine Stationery, Klein Mechanical, Northwest Glass, Great Plains National Bank, and Long Shots Bar and Grill, who is our Coaches Show host. Very much appreciate the sponsors and partnering not only with us, but again, giving back to the school with your partnership. So folks, support those great businesses. Good people all around in those businesses. And do so, of course, with their sponsorship as well. So I believe Ace Long's going to punt this one. We'll have the wind to his back, but with the safety, has to kind of punt it from deeper than usual at the 20 instead of kicking it from the 40. As waiting on Boomers get set up on the punt kick. Cash it up. Have return it deep at the 30. So Boomers, again, make sure everybody's where they need to be. Situation, don't face off with the punt. Be a drop kick for long. Is at the 15, actually. I think he does get a chance to take a step or two. We'll see.
We know he can boot it.
Again, we'll have the wind behind him. It does get a few steps up, puts it in the air. Good one. It'll be returnable. It's through the hands of the returner initially. That's Correa. Tries to bounce it to the outside, gets to the 45, or Solis, excuse me, gets to the 50, and now is going to be game tackled by the Boomers before the whistle is blown, and that's where Cash will take over. Minute 11 to go in the ball game.
Making first contact was Cason Bourne, and then there to kind of finish him off and blow it dead was Carson Medina.
That it was. As I imagine for the Bulldogs here, a couple kneels. As Harmon is back out there, so probably the case. Can't imagine he'll be running any plays. As they've gone into their victory formation, a deep man back. And there's one kneel from Harmon. Should just need one more to wrap it up. So Cash going to go to 2-2 on the season, 1-0 in district play. The Boomers will fall to 0-4, 0-1 in district play, and turn around. As mentioned, we'll host Weatherford, who on last update was leading Chickasha in Weatherford tonight. That'll be the Boomer homecoming though next week. Ought to be a lot of fun, a lot of great activities through the week as well. And always a good atmosphere on Friday night. Get some homecoming king and queen. Second kneel down from Harmon, and that should do it. As the Boomers fall on the road, first district contest of the season, 56-0 to the Bulldogs of Cash. And we will step aside for a break, come back and put some post-game wrap on it and get you set up for what's ahead for us. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, Pipe Lanes Tire. When you want the best pricing and no gimmicks on office supplies, furniture, electronics, and gifts, do yourself a favor. Stop by Divine Stationery and Radio Shack in Woodward at 2121 Oklahoma Avenue or call 580-256-7040. Serving Northwest Oklahoma since 1939.
Long time no see, buddy. How's it going? When did you get back?
Hey, good to see you. I've been home for almost a year, just trying to adjust and get back into the swing of things.
Well, it looks like you've been busy. I always see those pics you post of you and your family at all those events. What gives?
Oh, yeah, VetTix. VetTix gives.
What's VetTix?
VetTix is an awesome charity that gives free event tickets, like concerts and sporting events and shows, to currently serving military and vets, including immediate family of troops killed in action. You wouldn't believe how these events have helped me adjust to being back. It's just like a good time that I could have with my family, and all these new happy memories we're making are priceless.
And it's nice to know that people appreciate your service and your sacrifice.
Yeah, it is.
Listen, I've actually got extra tickets. Can I donate them?
Yeah, it's easy. Just go to vettix.org. It's a great site. You could give your extra tickets and other vets like me could sign up to get them.
Cool. I'm on it, buddy. Good to know you're back. And hey, thank you for your service.
Everyone can help keep our roads safe. When I'm making a wide turn in my bus, I'll remember to be careful. Please give me plenty of space to finish my turn before you drive ahead. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Visit www.sharetheroadSafely.gov.
And welcome back to Boomer Football on Z92. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. As the Boomers fall, unfortunately, here tonight, 56-0 on the road to the Bulldogs to open district play in Dakota. Just again, a game where the offense just anything that could go wrong did go wrong. They couldn't find any rhythm at all, and we're out of sync tonight.
Yeah, you're right, Tyler. There was a couple of plays where the Boomers got offensively rolling, things looked good, and then something would happen. They would do the same thing. It was continuous. Boomers were starting to look good, and then something would happen.
Yeah.
But you got to give credit to the Boomers defense. You switch sides. They played an amazing game. They forced a couple 3-and-outs in the second half, started to find rhythm, but unfortunately, you're right, it came down to the offense, and they couldn't find anything tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely stretches there where the Boomer defense, you can tell, was trying to do everything they could to kind of to hold up that offense and get them something. It just did not work out tonight in that respect. So you unfortunately lose your opener in district play on the road. But like we said, you come back home next week, get to be in the friendly confines of Boomer Stadium. It's homecoming. You'll have some extra...
Some crowd, home field advantage.
Yeah, some motivation there. It's a good week. It's a lot of fun with that week, and it kind of gets you...
Fresh start.
Yeah, and maybe a new mindset. You will welcome a very tough challenge, though, in Weatherford. We know we'll have to look more at film, but I just don't know how much Weatherford has around C.J. Nixon. Tonight, they did take care of business against Chickasha 35-15. But even if they don't have a ton around C.J. Nixon is a top player in the state for the junior class. He's top 50 in the country, 15 Power 5 offers. He's got Georgia that's coming off of him, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, all the Big 12. So he is a legit threat and a guy you're going to have to deal with no matter how much or how little Weatherford will have around him. So it'll be interesting to see how they try to handle that challenge to the Boomers. But that would be, the big thing to look forward to next week, homecoming. We mentioned earlier, Dakota Meany will be there at Boomer softball field Monday as the Boomers will close their regular season with Shattuck Pink Out Night. Yeah. And that'll be a lot of fun. And they're already on their way to the postseason. They've had a pretty great season, 20-plus wins. Done a great job as Coach Chase Dauphin and really getting this, the Boomer softball team turned around in a timely manner.
I'm very, very excited and happy to see where that program is going, and man, I can't wait till Monday. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun for sure. And of course, for this weekend, not with me and you specifically, but on our stations, Z92 tomorrow, you'll be able to hear Oklahoma State on the road against Iowa State to open their Big 12 conference play. That one kicks off at 3 o'clock, which means pregame coverage gets underway at 1 o'clock. With Dave Funziker and his crew on K101. Oklahoma has the early kickoff against Cincinnati bright and early at 11 o'clock. Our game will start at 9 on K101 with Toby Rowland and the gang. So definitely look forward to that. For some college football, NFL football, Dallas Cowboys will be on Z92 as well this weekend, so tune in for that. With that said, I do want to thank everybody involved with us here tonight, not only on on Z92 but K101. So Sean Kelly, Sean Miller, Kathy Reese, C.J. Montgomery, Carl Newton, Chris Eubank, the Regent Jeff Hickman providing updates on Friday Night Quick Scores, as well as Kate Kennedy here with us. Got to thank Chris Godwin for coming out. Special shout out to Mr. Eric Scott because he climbed the ladder. He wasn't on air, but he climbed the ladder.
And stood the entire game up here, the entire one.
Right. Tuned in with us. So special shout out to him, of course. And then the man back on the board doing a fantastic job tonight, Rance Bay. Very much appreciate him and his work. And if you tuned in on Z92, if you watched on Boomer TV, we very much thank you, as always, for joining us and allowing us to bring you this coverage of your Boomer athletes. With that said, everybody, have a great weekend. We will catch you on Monday. You've been listening to Boomer Football on Z92.